everybody, how's it going? We got one day left in the year.
One. For those of you who are already into the future, Happy New Year.
Yes, true. This episode won't go up on YouTube until the new year, so we're time traveling.
Anya.
Oh, but yes,
According to most theorists, you cannot actually time travel and change events because you would just become part of the event that you try to protect.
Yeah, and then it'd make a new timeline.
Those that seek the road to avoid their destiny often finds it.
Often finds that it comes to meet them.
Those who seek to avoid their destiny is often met on the path to avoid it. I don't remember what Monty says. She says something like that.
I mean, that checks out. Almost everybody who runs away from their destiny finds it while they're running away from it, so. Yeah.
meanwhile,
The trope is when you try to avoid, you
since
find it
12:30.
anyway.
but yes, I just know one thing. If there's ever a time traveling version of myself that comes back to meet me, I know to kill him because we hate time travel. Stories, media, never liked it. So that's the best way to know that someone is trying to trick me into something.
Musha taught me that doppelgangers are bad.
Try to remember here. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I still need to read all of that Onimusha stuff you sent me.
Oh, don't worry. If you need the TLDR on that, I got you, fam. I played way too much of that game. You're fine.
I think everyone's played at least some version of Dynasty Warriors Onimusha or the like.
So
Not.
Oh, go ahead. Wait, you haven't?
I have not. It had no appeal to me, so I did not.
Onimusha was one of like the first mocap games for PS2. Oh, you must. You must do the thing. It's not like Dynasty Warriors, I promise.
I have admittedly heard good things about Onimusha, but I don't know.
It got my, at the time, like 30-something-year-old mom to get into it, so I'll take it.
That's a glowing endorsement, especially for that time frame.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
She played all three.
That reminds me of how my mom was like unironically super into Pokemon Puzzle League because it was just Tetris.
That's true. I hear a lot of that, actually.
Yeah, I know. My mom saw that and was like, "Oh, I'm good at this." It just takes the controller. There you go. You won. I was like, "What the hell just happened? What did you do with my mother?"
Dude, my mom and I used to have Tetris battles. Fucking Windows 95 Tetris battles, and she whooped my ass until 3rd grade. And then one day you just heard, "Yes!"
And I returned. Sorry for that. Had surprise cousins and a surprise package.
No worries.
What's next? Who knows? Maybe it'll be Santa Claus crashing through my literal roof.
The package was a present for my birthday, which is next week.
Yeah, so be prepared to start singing Happy Birthday.
No, don't do that.
Oh, I am.
Nope.
Yep.
I can sing it in Spanish.
Me cumpleaños feliz, me cumpleaños feliz.
Yes.
All right, well, let's start going around the horn since we've got everybody here now. Let's start with Zai. Where can people find you?
Hi, diddly do, everyone. I'm Zai. You can find me here, twitch.tv/ZymeSite, playing some Monster Hunter and doing art because I have art commissions every Wednesday. But in the new year, I'm actually going to start playing Crisis Course Reunion, and I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the changes, and I get to see more Zack and Genesis. Ooh, woo. You can also find me here every other Saturday with these lovely folks who, yay, we get to bring in the new year with, which then leads to, hey, Krista, where can they find you?
Hello! Well, hopefully in the new year, I'm going to be streaming again. You can find me at Spoiled Chestnut on Twitch and Twitter, and yeah, it's my birthday in 5 days.
Hop Smurf.
I'm going to be old.
Yes, join us in the bone creaking.
Hold
Oh,
up.
I'm
how
already
old?
there, my friend. I am
How-
already there.
What do you consider old? Because
When your bones start creaking, you're old.
Ooh, ooh.
Whenever your bones start creaking, congrats, you're ancient.
Oh damn.
Willie, go.
My bones sometimes creak, but hello. When I am not grinding cinder races with Slowbro, I am playing randomizers on Mondays. Mostly Zelda. I also play other games sometimes, but mostly whatever's random and replayable for long times. Sometimes make music. Haven't been making stuff recently, but hoping to get more stuff done in the new year. And I have a Ko-Fi. I can't think of anything else. Bob, where can we find you? What are you up to?
Greetings and salutations. I am Shadow Dancer Bob. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Shadow Dancer Bob. On Sundays we have the Maelstrom. It's a WWE 2K19 meets D&D show with over 100 different player characters in one giant world that is pure chaos. It's a lot of fun. Mondays you can find me on twitch.tv/LannyPator, where I play Daener the Tabaxi Wizard. We're taking this particular week off. On Wednesdays you can find me on twitch.tv/TrashKingArisen, where I play the handsomely devilish Silver Devil and the insane shopkeeper, Gabby. On Saturdays, you can find me right here. And on Fridays, you can find potentially Shark Squad taking to the seas again. We beat Raft last night after a 5-hour stream. And pretty soon, we're thinking about taking on the Sea of Thieves.
Ooh.
But that's not all. But for now, CG, where can people not find you?
They can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media. But you can find me over on a few D&D campaigns from various good beans, such as switch.tv/fartingtart, where we are doing War of the Shattered Sun every Sunday, and we are meeting tomorrow for fun times in a Nightmare Realm. Yay! But you can also find me every other Tuesday for Curses Strahd. We are meeting back up on the 10th for the continuation of that campaign, as we took the month off for Festive Fantasy, a Final Fantasy-inspired mini-campaign through the month of December, which we are going to be finishing up this Tuesday. Due to circumstances, we unfortunately had to push back a week, but our party has finally challenged this interdimensional swordsman. Will there be a stay to the war due to claiming the blade that he stole? Maybe, but they're going to have fun along the way regardless. But that is it for me. Toss it on over to our esteemed DM.
Howdy, everybody. You can find me here at twitch.tv/jfrost747 and over on Twitter at frost747j. Streams are still up in the air here and there due to work and everything else. However, seeing as how the craziness of the holiday season is finally dying down, hopefully should be starting back. 2023. Finally gonna fill out that affiliate paperwork. Finally gonna start actually doing some streams. We're gonna be starting up soon. Twitch controls Skyrim play chat. So, if you want to see some insanity, boy howdy, are you going to see some insanity. What's going to happen? Stealth Archer run? Wizard? Knob? Bonk? Who knows? But you can also find me doing some War of the Shattered Sun, some Curse of Strahd, and a number of other D&D things going off. Of course, we'll also see what else happens, because there are some future projects down the pipeline, and I look forward to it. Now, I believe there's only one person to go back to, and that is currently the host of our esteemed, glorious show, and, of course, a good friend, Monsieur Von.
Ah, yes, thank you. Well, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at BurnoutVaughn, where we just had our first session of our new D&D miniseries last night, C4, which hey, if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, that video right next to this, that's the first episode. You should probably watch that. It's very chaotic and very fun. I might have started a cold war between this party and that party on who can be more chaotic, and now I'm just going to have to reap the benefits. But that being said, we don't have much in the way besides D&D with Cholta Personality on Tuesdays, C4 now on Fridays for the next few weeks, and then every other week we have Saved by the Spell. And eventually me and Wiley are going to sit down and decide what we're going to do with Satire Days, but until then, stay tuned on our Twitter. And now it's time for me to play some lovely music for our theme song, so please let me just take that away.
Hell no.
God.
It's good.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Well,
I'm concerned.
We've been talking shit about you while you were unmuted, while you were deafened.
I mean, I figured that's typically what happens. But hey, Frost, why don't you take us away, oh lovely DM?
All right, everybody in the van.
Do you at least have candy this time?
I have something that could be considered candy in certain cultures.
I was promised push pops.
Hey, Bob, why don't you smell this and let me know if it smells like chloroform?
Okay.
Chloroform. In this economy, please.
Yeah, you just get a sock full of sand and you like it.
Anyways,
Oh no. He killed him.
Oh god. Oh, that champagne flavored potato chip literally went point into my fucking throat.
That champagne chip is not going down that smooth anymore.
Oh. Fuck me, dude. Do not pull that bullshit.
Hey,
Not
could be
when I am
worse.
eating this delicious potato chip.
Could be worse, Jay Frost. At least you didn't fall out of your chair this time.
This time.
But didn't we
Give
get
it
him?
time.
Did that happen in our last session?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
When Darren abandoned the party again, he fell out of his chair.
I'm already waiting for some certain artwork to be done so we can put that up on screen with a ding counter.
I can't believe you lot are actually commissioning artists over my ass.
I mean, I've technically already done that at least several times already, so yes.
Yes, you have.
Yep. But anyways. You know what? Because we're about to enter the new year, I want to do something. I'm gonna yank this off of the festive fantasy kind of style. Who would like to summarize last session? Whoever does it, you get an inspiration die.
Ooh.
You
Is
have
it
30
wrong
seconds
if
on
I
the
just
clock.
read
If
from...
nobody's willing, I will.
Is it wrong if I just read from my notes?
Rock, paper, scissors, for it. Go.
30 seconds on the clock. Starts now.
I mean, nope, Bob, I will give it to you. I have 2 things of inspiration. You take it. You get some.
So, I know what you're thinking. How in the hell did we end up in a situation like this? Stuck at the top of an attic with no way down and a creepy doll in our hands, right? So, we ended up goofing off trying to figure out how to get out of here. Alarms blaring, barbecue sauce on my titties. and I lead the charge valiantly to lead my troops back downstairs. Belky, shut the hell up. I know I see that look. Shut up. I did not fall down the stairs. So, we end up walking downstairs. I valiantly lead my troops downstairs. And thus, it turns out Daedalus may have been right as a giant owl head poked around the corner. Maybe not, but you know how it goes. So, Belky says scatter. Everybody starts running every which way. Shutters are coming down. And thinking quickly, I run and dive out the window. And I pull my umbrella out, gliding to the ground. Everybody is panicking. I don't know what happened in there. I see people running, jumping out of the windows, climbing out. Goldblum barely... The shutters just slammed down on Goldblum. Thankfully, I launched some acid up there, ate away the shutters. He got out. We bolted. Thankfully, we didn't go around to the front of the school because there was a bunch of professors up there and arcanotons or guard bots or whatever those things were, and who knows what they would have done. So we managed to get out of there, and we had a moment where we were all in the opening area where we just looked at all the loot we got. We got some interesting stuff. We got some not interesting stuff. Apparently, Belky and Silas really wanted this one particular globe that makes a familiar, and they went back and forth with it for a little while. I wasn't paying attention because I fucked off. I set up a dragon behind Daedalus and Belky.
You stole it, you bitch! You stole it! Tell the story right.
I stole nothing. You have to have a witness to be able to tell that they stole something. Hush you. So I fucked off to the tree, and I don't know how Iaptis managed to find me, but she just walked right over, and we sorted up everything, tossed everything aside, and it turns out the exams are coming up fairly soon. We got clubs, we got jobs, we got a lot of stuff on our way, but that's what happened last time, everybody.
I just want to imagine you're like at Sloppy Oges just rattling us all off to like a wraith or something that can't speak back.
No, I'm
In the
telling it
kitchen.
to Frank.
After his 7th hit of catnip.
Does that mean the other one's beans? Frank and beans.
Maybe.
Mark me down an inspiration point, Bob. And also, give me the bottle of bad spray, because I'm gonna spray someone.
I also just realized, oh yeah, we definitely destroyed a good chunk of that house. No wonder the teachers were all up in arms.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah!
there shouldn't have been a fucking robotic, like, griffin thing.
Vaughn, we destroyed a lot of that house, and someone else took the blame for it.
Good.
Yeah! But thank God that you guys aren't dealing with the former head of security anymore.
Although, to be fair, that might change today.
Well, we'll see! But, yes, all of that and more has transpired. So, we will currently be starting off with at least where we last left off. And I believe, if I remember correctly, in my DM notes, which, good God, there's a lot of this, and also,
It was
just
at
to
the
give you a-
cafeteria. Indare had just given Silas a needle which will allow him to cast Find Familiar one time, and they hugged.
Aw, yeah.
And Daedalus immediately realized that the timer dropped down on his rock and then ran off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without telling anyone.
So, who would like to start off first? Who would like which person would like to begin the story for today.
Question, is it a new day, or are we picking up where we left off in the cafeteria?
No, the new day's on WWE. And also, I don't think they exist anymore.
No, they do.
Oh, thank God! The trumpet is saved.
But anyone else can go first, because I think what I'm about to drop on Frost probably will take up a good amount of time. So anyone else can go first.
Good. Alright. Alright, I'm preparing my butt cheeks for this.
All right. I guess the rest of the party, I'll also go. So after giving Indira a hug for this wonderful gift that he just received, he's just like, I don't know what to say, man.
It's a one-use thing. You can cast it one time. So if something happens to that familiar, you're going to have to get another one from me.
Fair enough. I don't plan on throwing something precious like this into danger, I'll tell you that much. Just, a little someone to help pass the hours while we're studying.
Yeah.
Which occurs to me that in all this hubbub and Daedalus running off for some reason, we should probably get to that studying bit at some point. I know we're usually studying, but now more than ever.
So you're saying we need to do super studying?
I
Studying.
do.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Yeah.
I have no opinions on that.
Hey, everybody has their own methods of studying and acquiring information.
Just gonna squint a little bit. Right. Well, if you do be letting me, I think I'll not inquire further on what exactly you mean by that.
Probably the best.
Lord knows that the both of you are quite capable in your own ways, and I have the utmost belief that you will pass this exam with me and most likely Daedalus. Me, I'm a traditionalist. That means book, pen, research, the whole shebang. That being said, I wouldn't mind has anyone else got anyone else planning on doing studying with me?
Yeah, I gotta make a pit stop over at the school store. So, I might afterwards, maybe. Is Antimony at the table?
Antimony is currently back at the lunch line to grab another round of food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if my, if my minder doesn't disapprove of the company I keep, as it were, yeah, we might tag along. But just give me a little bit, yeah?
Of course.
The food is really good.
Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get some studying in between work and she's just gonna gesture with her hands to the school at everything that has happened. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put nose to paper. Oh, good thing I don't sleep long. So yeah, I wouldn't mind helping.
Much appreciated. Though, now that you mentioned, and he just kind of notes the gesture you made. Now that you're mentioning it, I do wonder what we're going to do with our most recent acquisition.
Yeah, and has she still been making noise? And just points towards the bag.
I imagine that he would have turned her off or stuffed her far enough into the handy haversack where she can't be heard.
Yeah,
Since
it is deep.
Since he had to activate her before she started talking.
Gotcha. I didn't know if there was like a on-off switch or something. Yeah, I do wonder what the end game of that was. Like, what we're getting out of that other than the pride of having found it.
I mean, we were offered. There
Yeah.
was a student that offered us a prize if we turned it in. So
I don't know if we need to turn it in after, who knows and who is to say if we were
I
the ones who
think
set off the alarm or if it was the yahoos downstairs who are parading around inside this house while we were doing actual work upstairs.
But so I think last session, though, above game, we did point out that Daedalus had heard the kid who had offered if we gave the doll to them that they'd do our homework or something. That he
Buy
had
lunch.
sensed that was BS, that he wasn't
Oh,
going to do
yeah.
it. So the question is, I guess, who it was supposed to go to or how you claim your prize.
I mean, we can still strong arm them into making the person who made the promise fulfill said promise.
well,
You've got Belky and you've got Indare. And you've got Goldblum, who is bigger than the both of the other two. So yeah.
the thing is, we don't know if they might actually uphold their end of the bargain. They might not. Who knows? The thing is, I've been taking some time and I've been studying this thing. And I've been getting a lot of interesting inspiration from this thing. I might be able to make a duplicate if we need to. It won't last long, but I can potentially make a duplicate.
That could be useful.
He gives a little grin like, say, imagine these things just start showing up all over school. In the weirdest places. In the most random places.
They're gonna find their way into more than a few students' lockers.
Well, they don't last very long, but...
That sounds like a brilliant prank. I'm in. What do you need, my guy?
I've got it taken care of for the most part. Above game, I can use my arcane infusions to make a doll similar to her. But it only lasts as long as I allow it to happen. So as soon as I deactivate it, I can deactivate it whenever I make a new one. Because it's a common magical item.
That it is. That it is.
It's called a talking doll, I believe.
Man, I fear for whoever encounters those. But you know what? As long as it's not me, I'm good.
I suppose that's a fair point. Oh, and if you happen to be wanting to put this in some of these dolls in a particularly hard to reach spots, just let me know.
He gives a little bit of a grin. I'll keep that in mind.
Can't be a wet blanket all the time, you know?
Gotta have a little
Smile's
bit of
kinda
fun.
big.
A little bit of... You gotta spice things up just a little bit.
You know what, Sully? I'm really glad for you. For real, I am. And Belky will reach over and clap him on the shoulder. Today, I want you to try and do something, something unexpected, something out there, crazy, just, spontaneous. Have fun. And I'd like to give him a bardic inspiration to just be buck wild and do something.
Do something?
Alright.
Anything.
That's
something.
That's against my code!
Do something! No. But yeah, I want to see what he does. And hey,
He actually
who knows?
gets scrambled eggs.
Maybe you'll get a new nickname instead of Sully.
Well, I'll be. Isn't that quite the... Hey, wait a minute. Has that been an insulting this whole time?
Maybe. And Belky just grins. You didn't notice. Does it matter?
You know what? I guess it really doesn't.
No. Besides, you're cool enough, man.
Well, thank you for the hopes, and thank you for lying. I appreciate it.
Who said I'm lying now?
Well, I suppose I have to hold up your end of the bargain then, eh? Gotta find something crazy to do, and we can't be studying all day.
I mean, you never rolled an insight check, so you'll never know.
I might not be very good with people, you understand.
Fair enough.
Just has the biggest smile when he said he can't be a wet blanket all the time. It's just like big. Just imagine the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Just that big smile, and it's like, I did nothing wrong. This is cool.
So I have an idea, and I want all of your opinions on it.
Oh.
Daedalus is not at the table. He ran off. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what if Iapetus, you'd be able to say, put something into Daedalus's room, right? Without him knowing?
Yeah, be the first time.
So say if I were to make a doll of Daedalus and say, fill it with a number of lines, you'd be able to hide it and put it into his room without him noticing, right?
Oh, hold up. Catman,
Absolutely.
hold up. We have to go to the owlery and grab some owl feathers and just dust the room with a few.
So you know that thing I said about being a wet blanket a little bit ago?
Yeah.
I am all for messing with Daedalus.
Good.
But this owl thing, I think that needs to be nipped in the bud somehow.
Oh, no, come on. It's funny.
I feel like we're unfortunately feeding. We're feeding. What am I? What's the?
I think I know where you're going.
We're feeding sugar to a quickling here.
We don't need him overreacting to. Wait. Didn't he mention that he has a professor that's like
An owl.
owlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't need
but-
him blowing up at his professor randomly out of nowhere from the stress of us inducing owl
I'm just saying.
trauma.
I'm just saying, if he mind slivers the professor will probably live through it. Daedalus probably not so much.
I mean, it'd be entertaining if he mind slivers a professor.
Okay, but hear me out. Y'all not gonna have to deal with his mom.
You're right. We won't.
I will.
Why, you didn't do it?
So I'm down for poking fun at Lucy a little bit, but I just don't need mom to find out in a fucked up way.
Red, my lips are sealed.
Just big smile. Again, his sister, she has no problem with this. It's probably been done before.
Now Daedalus learns what true friendship is. All of the people that you love and care about fucking with you.
You're not wrong.
I mean, yeah.
It's fucking around and finding out. That's the true test of friendship.
How about we reach a compromise?
Yeah.
We'll go ahead with all this chicanery, but we'll have Iapetus give the final say on what exactly we do. After all, not only would this allow her to avoid backlash, and he kind of puts his fingers together and a slight grin appears on his face, but I have a feeling that after all the years that you've spent together, you have some excellent ideas of what this doll could say, no?
Some pertinent insight, if you would.
Oh, Salas, you have no idea. Big smile, like, Cheshire cat grin, full activated.
Cheshire Wolf.
That's
Yes.
even scarier.
Like, she loves her brother, but she also knows how to gently poke fun at him.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here being quiet because I'm not there.
You just sneeze in the biblioplex constantly.
Where did he run off to anyway?
Funny you say that. Are you comfortable for a little scene transition?
Are we doing that right now?
I'm asking. Both parties.
Well, because I wanted to run to the school store.
We can do that. We can definitely do that. What the fuck?
Holy shit, it
The first thought that came into my mind was, oh, hi, Kefka.
For those who don't know, CG shared a picture of Fangmon from Digimon Survive.
That is amazing.
It's creepy looking. And I posted a gif of Moro from Princess Mononoke of the giant wolf laughing.
This is 100% what she was doing. Thank you.
Yes.
Man, we are already starting off with some Nightmare Fuel today. Okay, wow.
It's not that
Yeah,
bad.
we could definitely do a little bit of a scene work here. So, with all this being discussed, does everybody decide to spread out and do their thing?
And Dare would accompany Belky at the very least, just to do some stuff behind the scenes.
Oh no. Okay.
Aw.
He has ink that he needs to drop off and supplies for mischief and things that he needs to pick up. Things that can be done off screen to save time.
Same
Oh,
time,
okay.
Live better.
That's fun.
Mark Wall. All right. Well, we'll start off with the two charismas.
Oh no. Okay.
Because I'm kind of want to see where this is going, and I've got myself a nice bit of lovely tea and chips.
You have tea?
Well, I mean, drink.
The sweet tea or my tea?
The gossip tea.
Oh, okay.
Please.
I made fucking J Frost sweet tea from scratch. So but yeah, Belky will make her way to the school store and head up to the shopkeep.
You enter in the store. The shopkeep is currently doing a little bit of waxing on a nice little... It's kind of not really waxing, it's more like wood polishing.
Mm-hmm.
On this tiny little stick. Approximately 6 inches tall.
Belky will head on over and give a great big smile and address the barkeep with a, "Hey, how's it going? Not too busy, I hope, are you?"
No, shop's open.
Great. Hey, how are you on special orders?
Depends. Kind of narrows his eyes down at you. Are you looking to send something or get something?
Get something.
Is it legal?
Belky opens her mouth to say something, stops, thinks for a second. I think it is, yeah. Pretty sure. It depends on what continent, but yeah, should be.
Pardon me, I need to grab his dice.
And Dare slowly starts closing blinds.
He's going to incite you, Belky, and
Okay.
I want you to be honest. Are you
Okay.
telling the truth?
Yes.
What does he glean with an 18?
Belky is fairly certain that it's legal.
Alright, so long as it's not gonna end up like another of those itching powder incidents, we'll be fine.
What? No. This involves live animals.
He immediately looks and goes, "Nope."
Nope, what?
Mm-mm. Nope.
What do you mean, no?
Nope. Mm-mm. No. I'm not getting caught up in another one of
Oh,
those
no,
incidents.
come on. Listen. And Belky will reach out and, like, grab his arm and go, listen, hey, come on. Look, we're all friends here, right? Listen, it's fine.
No,
It's
I am
cool.
I
Hey,
am a
come on.
shopkeep. You
Yeah,
are a
listen,
trouble.
listen. Hey, come on. Look. It's a pet for a friend of mine, okay? I want to get him a pet. Because somebody, and Belky will look over at Indare, decided to give him Find Familiar, but he was waxing all sad about how he'd never had a pet, so I want to get him a real one. And I know what I want to get him because I wanted one when I was a little kid and my parents said no. So I know they're kept as pets. I am just not entirely sure where you're going to get one and what expedition is to here. So that's my hang up. If you've got other suggestions, I mean, that's fine too. But I would like an actual live critter, if you know what I mean.
Rabbit.
No, it's not a rabbit. That's cute, but no.
Cool. It's legal.
Yeah, I know it's legal, but I'm thinking more like a Crenshaw. Puppy.
A dog.
Yeah, let's call it a dog. A Crenshaw.
Crenshaw. Could you type that up for me? Just real quick.
It's my favorite monster I showed you, remember?
Oh, that thing.
Yes, I love them. That's it. It's like a cross between a leopard and a hyena, but they can be scary.
Let me see how well he knows this.
Indare just gives a little grin. I mean, come on, dude. You've got a pixie back there, so you're able to get something.
Wait, he's got a pixie? Isn't that slavery? Isn't that illegal? Oh my god.
Technically, it's a familiar, I believe.
You're keeping a resident of the Feywilds enslaved in a bottle. Oh my god. Does anybody know about this?
I mean, it's on sale for 50 grand back there last I saw it.
Did you sell a pixie to someone? Oh my god.
Alright, kid. Just kind of pinches his nose. I don't know what the fuck this creature is. Can you give me a description first?
Yeah, here. Do you have, like, paper and a quill?
Kid, you're in the school shop.
Yeah, I meant...
slams a bunch of paper down.
I meant one that you weren't planning to sell. I'm not about to, fuck with your wares. And Belky will take the quill, dip it in ink, and, like, scribble a drawing of the Crenshaw when they're not doing the scary thing. So it just looks like a normal dog-cat hybrid creature with a long tail and spots and floofy.
The fuck is this thing? Were you trying to draw a wolf or a cat? It's
called a Crenshaw. They're more in the wild wastelands. They're not from around here. They're more desert, plateau, canyon, that kind of thing. But listen, they're really cool, okay? And they can be housebroken. It's basically a puppy, okay?
I will see what I can do.
Listen, if you've got trouble with connections, maybe I can find someone with connections. I want to get something that he won't forget, okay?
I will see what I can do.
And it's way more interesting than just a bunny.
I don't know, I've had some pretty interesting rabbits.
But they're fluffy and fragile and...
Not the last one. I got this one from the Great Wildwood.
Unless it's the kind that's spoken of in legends that was destroyed by, the grenade of the Great Antioch, I don't really care.
That was a damn good pull, by the way.
That was a damn good pull. And now, I'm going to add on to it. Well, you don't kill it with a grenade. It's just a rabbit the size of a cow.
No, the man-eating rabbit.
That sounds like some fucking, like, City of the Dead kind of shit.
Yeah, that's why they killed it with a grenade. A holy grenade.
I mean, I've heard of a zombie rabbit before.
It wasn't even a zombie rabbit. It was just a wee little bunny.
That sounds like animal cruelty.
Necromancer's Apprentice. Or
Anyway,
Necromancer's Familiar.
is there any way that you can get in touch with somebody to get me a Crenshaw?
I will try my best.
Okay, great. And how long about would that take, maybe?
Kid, even I don't know. This is the first
Listen.
I'm hearing of this creature, and honestly, if I find out it's way too many problems,
Listen,
I
listen,
will try to at least.
listen, no matter what the price is, I'll just send the bill to my dad. It's fine. This is more of a special treat to liven somebody up who almost never smiles, okay? Like, it's important. Plus, it'll be a nice little reward if he does well on exams, right? Yeah, so it's cool. Don't worry about
Please roll me a fucking, like, persuasion check.
it.
Because this man is just like, what the fuck kind of bullshit are you putting on me?
Oh, please. Can I cast Bardic Inspiration on myself?
I still have to decide, I want to say yes, no.
Fuck! 22?
Let me see how he counters. Yeah, he ain't beating that.
Hey! Puppy, 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 puppy.
I will see what I can do. Now, you here to buy us anything else?
Yeah, do you sell supplies for instruments?
Oh, yeah, here.
Great.
He just immediately points towards the, he points to his left, and he goes, school usually gets things from over there. That's the music department.
Great, thanks. I also need some, like, polish for my weapons.
Aisle 18, Section C. You'll
Thank
see.
you. And Belky will just give, like, a wink and wander off.
Fucking kids these days.
I know, right?
You're
Hey,
one to
you.
talk, Catman.
So, my man, you got anything that you need in particular as of late since I have been helping you with supply?
Yeah. And he kind of just looks down to you and he goes, I kind of got I got a big order coming up, and of course I need to at least get something. I need... Pulls out a ledger, opens it up, and just scrolls through and goes, oh, where is it? 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 Yep, there we go. I need an Everwinter hibiscus.
Well, if I come across one, I'll let you know.
You find one of those, I'll give you a nice 20% off your next big purchase.
Ooh, I like that. How's your ink looking? Your magical ink.
Exams are gonna be coming up in a few, so definitely gonna need some heavy. Think
I can get
pull
you
it off?
I can get you plenty of ink.
All right. How much?
Well, usual price, same as I sold it to you last time. I'm able to make so much a day.
Tell you what. Kind of just immediately pulls it up, and he goes, wait here.
Got
Walks
nothing
into
but
the
time, my
back,
man.
Walks into the back. You hear some clinging and clanging, and eventually you hear and eventually he comes out with a nice sack and lays it on the table. Hey, alright. How much can you get me today?
Let me double check. I believe you said I can. Let me check my character sheet. I believe I can make like a quart. I can make a quart. So I can make a quart of magical ink and 2 quarts of normal ink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I assume you're going for...
Whichever you need more. The normal ink is less expensive, but I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to barter with you since I need supplies for my cooking and my tinkering and everything, and you need ink to sell at a markup, no doubt.
Oh yeah, you kidding me? Gotta keep the market going. Anyways, you give me a full-on quart of magic ink for the next 5 days. And he merely pushes the sack to you. And this will be yours.
So, what is the sack? Can I have a look at it or identify it?
Of course, you can open it up and take a look.
Okay. But what is it?
Within the sack, you see gold pieces. Lots and lots of gold pieces. In total, 1,000 gold pieces.
He gives a little bit of a grin. We'll go ahead and once I acquire it, we'll make a deal. He gives a bit of a grin. I know that you got some interesting things around here. I'm interested to perhaps barter with you for it. But overall, he's gonna make that deal, and he'll go ahead and he'll drop off the first of the magical inks by pulling out his jug and pouring it into various containers for him.
All right.
Using my Day of the Alchemy jug.
That is the first of 5 days worth of magical ink poured. 200 gold pieces are now added into your inventory.
Okay.
Now, somewhere in the distance, Daedalus is salivating.
I see that he's adjusted the prices on me a little bit. But I dig it.
Alright. So what else do you need?
Do you have a net?
Oh, yeah. What kind of net? Shrimp net? Live animal net?
Let me put
net?
Let me put it to you like this. Something big enough that if we have another issue with that jackass that came into your shop the other day, I can take care of it without having to wrestle him down to the ground.
Oh, don't you worry about that. That's what that thing's for. And he points over towards the giant cylindrical tube.
Well, I imagine that, but at the same time, it'd still be useful to have one.
Yeah, probably.
Above game, I'm going to use catapult with a net.
Ooh.
Because nets suck as a weapon, but they're really good when combined with the catapult spell.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All right.
And he gives a list of various food-based items, arcane tinkering items. Basically, he just wants to trade for general crafting supplies that I'm going to be using down the road, pretty much.
Alrighty. I can basically go down the list, and I'd say that after a total, it'd probably be 50 to 60 gold pieces for at least the arcane tinkering.
Okay. So I'm just going to add I have 2 items in my inventory of gold worth of arcane tinkering materials and gold worth of various foods. I'll just add to I'll just add to the total of the tinkering and remove the gold from my list.
Of course. So, anything else you'd like?
That's pretty much for Indare. Indare just wanted to get various materials he's going to need for future projects, so that I won't have to worry about it when the time comes that I start actually making things. Because every item that you when you make magic items, they require so much gold and material costs or what have you, and I'm buying those materials early.
Alrighty, alright.
Because the first item that I eventually want to try to make is, if you're willing, gauntlets of ogre power. That's the first major item I want to try to make.
Ooh. Okay. I have no problem with that. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm. They're an uncommon magical item in the early game. But that's it for Indare.
Alrighty. Speaking of which, Indare,
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to do me a favor.
Okay.
What's your passive perception?
12.
12. Would that be enough to see it? If you would like, please roll me a general perception check.
Okie doke. Persuasion performance. That is a perception 21.
20 mean. Okay. Well, if that's the case... Indare,
Mm-hmm.
you look over... and you notice... a robe. Within a nice little case.
Indare shall investigate.
Alright. You see this robe. It looks pretty plain.
Mm-hmm.
But right underneath, in common, it says, Robe of Dazzling.
Interesting. Does it describe what it does?
It says, for sale, 500 gold pieces. Original price, 1,000 gold pieces.
I'm looking over everything. So, I'm quite interested in this particular robe you've got here.
Huh?
What's the story behind it?
Oh, that thing. Yeah, it was used by the school's theater department last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice little set end-off gift from the lead role. Granted, it was pretty nice. Really good robe. Unfortunately, they couldn't take it with them because, they were already heading out on Wide Way and, big-time show actors and all that. So,
Mhm.
I mean, if you want to try it on, go ahead.
And Dare will take it and he'll give it a try. See how he likes it.
Alright. Now, you want to throw your hands out and do a little jazz hand and go sha-sha.
All right. And he throws his hands out. He does the jazz hands, and he goes sha-sha.
As you say this word, the robes burst into a flare of white, red, and dark violet light. And I need to make a save for the shopkeep who was looking directly at it.
Does it make a noise?
It is a blinding light, no noise.
Oh. Fun.
So in the back of the shop, you may have seen it, Belky.
Yeah, probably. Belky's gonna hurry over.
Well, he's definitely failing that, and he just goes, "Ah, the pizzazz!"
What did you do, Catman?
I did exactly what he told me to do. He told me to put on the robe, wave my hands just like this, and then say sha-sha. And I
it is
triggered
at that
again.
moment, the light dies down. I keep forgetting about that. Okay, yeah. Do not look directly at whoever's wearing that when they do that.
Yeah, okay, so it's a robe of blinding? What?
It's a robe of dazzling.
Okay.
It can blind somebody if they look directly at it. It's a prop used from last year's big play.
Why would you want to blind people looking directly at you when you're on stage?
Well, that was the name of the play, Blinding Lights.
Yeah, no wonder they stopped doing that. And Belky will put down the, sword, axe, polish, and a few strings on the, counter to pay for.
It's alright. I should have seen that coming. Alright.
I can see why you've got it marked down. If you're willing, I can offer you. I don't have 500 on me quite yet, but I can offer you. I can offer you 330 gold, and I can also offer you some things that I know you can sell to make up that difference. And he reaches into his pouch, and he pulls out a small mesh bag. And inside of that mesh bag is 6 small clinking vials with a thick green liquid. Everybody's during particular magical experiments and cleanup, a little bit of acid is always needed, right? I can give you 6 of these plus 330 gold for it. You can easily sell these for 25, 30 gold a pop.
Of course. Alright. Here. Take it. It'll take that. Now, I will let you know. This robe will burst into a flare of white, red, and dark violet light on command. If activated directly in front of a creature, the creature must make a Constitution save of DC 14 or be blinded for 1 minute. Sightless creatures or creatures that are already blinded are unaffected by the robe.
I thought this was a robe of scintillating colors at the start. This is
Nope.
one of your homebrew items?
This is an item that I actually managed to find from a good friend of mine.
Nice. So DC 14 con save or be blinded for a minute.
Yep. Shout out to my buddy Chef.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I will get the information, at least a bio, so I can know about it. What's the range of it? It has to be within 5 feet?
Within 5 feet, yeah, basically. It's basically a, hey, this is a mobile flashbang.
And is it an action, bonus action, free action to trigger it?
It is a bonus action.
Save or be blinded for a minute. Anybody that's already blinded or under the effect is immune?
Yep. Or creatures that just can't see.
And the colors are white, violet, and what now?
The robes are white, red, and dark violet.
Cool. This is going to be very interesting for a frontline fighter. Now, do they have so many charges to, or is
The
this
robe
just...
basically has a once-a-day usage. It is a singular flashbang. But it does recharge after 24 hours.
Okay. I take it at dawn, or specifically 24 hours?
Basically, 24 hours and its usage. So
Okay.
it does actually have a set time.
Ah, interesting.
Above
And there-
game, this has been used before.
Oh. And Dare looks at Belky and gives a mischievous grin.
Belky smiles back, knowing exactly the kind of mischief that's going to happen with that.
I love coming in and just seeing what's in the shop and bartering for it. Bartering for things.
Hopefully, our buddy here will have what I asked for in a little while too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
I mean-
Anyways,
Could be worse. At least it's not a basilisk.
No, we're not talking about that. Also, I didn't ask for anything that's particularly dangerous. It's literally just a puppy.
I hope so. You want dangerous animals, you gotta go through the school's
Yeah, no. It's a
animal
it's
department.
it's a unique pet. Okay, listen, hey, friend, hey, buddy, look. If you can't get a Crenshaw, because listen, I know it's a difficult ask. I get it. Maybe a blink dog. They're equally cute. They're a lot easier to get hold of. I just wanted something special.
We'll see. Anyways.
But before you order anything, please let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Alright, get out of here, you crazy kids. I got fucking inventory I need to take care of.
Please let me know. Thank you.
I'll be back with your next batch of your order, and Dare bolts.
Alright.
Seeing
he
him
gets-
hurry off, Belky will. Hey, what? No, hey! Chase after him.
Come on, keep up, Fire Pants.
The fuck kind of nickname is that?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Is there anything else you would guys like to do as you are
No.
running off?
I assume we're heading to Salus's place to study? Question mark?
If that is where you would like to go.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
So, let me ask this. Goldbloom, Iapetus, Salus, is there anything you guys wanted to do? Because I am going to ask right now. If there is anything you guys want to do before we do Daedalus, please let me know.
Nothing major. I know Salus would probably want to get go to the Biblioplex, run a few books, everything that need to prepare for the study session. He would also probably, since he asked everyone, he might like to swing by and the cafeteria again and pick up some, snacks. Because he's a good host.
Iapetus would probably swing by the cafe to pick up drinks for people that she thinks they might like. And pay whatever she needed to pay at the cafe to do so. And on her way to Salus's room, she actually would go drop off a tea to the kind archivist that helped her earlier.
Of course. They accept it with open arms and, of course, give you a big hug.
Goldblum will be a good boy and study
Okay.
for now.
With that being said, I will make it quite easy for everybody. You will get your books, you'll get your time in. We will commence a study session once this little segment is complete. Daedalus,
Yeah, hi.
how you doing?
Just fine, considering I'm about to do something that so far in this game has had a nearly 100% fatality rate.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to the faculty offices.
All right. Which faculty?
I believe we said that, Naylock was either Witherbloom or Silverquill. I can't remember which.
I believe Naylock is Silverquill. Let me double check. Because he's got quite a bit. Because Witherbloom is... Yeah, he would be, I believe, Silverquill.
Okay, well then, Daedalus is heading towards the place where, well, let's put it this way. We have a dense boy going to a place of nothing but sarcasm and wit. This will be great.
So you're heading to the Silverquill campus.
Well, the way you said, that sounded like that's where their faculty office is.
Alright, let me switch over to this.
So yeah, Daedalus is just gonna, like, make a beeline while keeping one hand in his vest with in the pocket with the crystal, and he's gonna be like, yep, no. Once he finally gets to the desk, I need to make an appointment to see Professor Naylock today, as soon as possible. Within the next, pulls out the crystal, 7 hours and 56 minutes.
You see one of the secretaries at the desk kind of just nervously look at you and goes, of course, 5th level, 7th door.
Oh, thank you. And Daedalus is just going to rush off. Though he'll probably get tired around on floor 3 because he is a wizard and he has no cardio.
Wow! Do I feel that in my soul?
You and me both. At least we don't have to worry about the ankle pains. But yeah, he'll eventually get there. It's like, and then immediately just, Professor, we need to talk. Professor.
There is a light on in there, but no answer.
Are there any windows nearby?
There's on the outside of, but if you're trying to look in, there is just a glass that's, fogged, not really fogged, but, how would I put it?
Well,
it's basically...
I meant more, is there like a window at the end of the hallway, per se?
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay.
That's easy.
Daedalus is going to walk over, open up the window, cast Spider Climb, and then walk around towards the window that should be his office.
Daedalus! There is nothing in that office. There's a desk. There's a chair. There's shelves. There's absolutely nothing. No books, no pen, no quill. Nothing at all.
That sounds very sus, especially considering who this room belongs to. So immediately Dace is just going to be, just a second, let me see if I can't pull this up.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to do?
Well, while he's looking in, first he's, again, just at will cast Detect Magic, and he's going to see if, like, he's looking at an illusion.
You're casting Detect Magic?
Yeah. Which, luckily, I can do while having Spider climb up because of, just a second, I need to remember the feat name. Focus Multitasker.
Alright. Give me 1 second, because there's a few things I need to pull up.
I also just love this that I'm basically just, like, Daedalus's, like, front toes are just touching the side of this building, and he's just basically Dio standing in front of this window. Also, he must stand out like a giant sore thumb, considering the fact that everything is white and black here, and he's in green and blues, and just standing in front of a window on his 7th floor.
Give me just 1 second, because... Boy, howdy. Okay. That's so good. Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Okay.
Daedalus, you're picking up vast amounts of temporal magic.
That sounds on brand, yes. Well then, since there's time magic, he's pretty sure he can't knock. But
Have you tried opening the door or window?
Oh. Daedalus will just smack his head, spider climb back around inside, then try the door.
You open up the door. It is easily opened. And as shown in before, the office is completely empty. No books, no quills, no anything. The only thing in there is a desk, a chair, and an orb
Oh, an orb.
laying on the table.
Well, Daedalus is going to walk up to the orb and inspect it.
How are you inspecting it?
He is going to carefully pick it up, which actually, let me double check something. It's hard to remember, I played too many casters. Yes, he's going to carefully pick it up with Mage Hand and then just tilt it around so he can get a look at the make and size of it.
Daedalus, as your mage hand begins to touch the orb, it fizzles out.
Interesting. He's going to take one of the quills from the desk and he's going to poke the orb.
I'm going to ask you a question right now.
Yes.
High or low?
I'm gonna go low. Oh.
The quill, a green light activates upon the orb. And the quill disappears into it.
Oh. Interesting. Well, time to test the scientific method. He's going to start picking up random things that he can find in his pockets and seeing if they get pulled into the orb or if they get destroyed. Gotta do several things before you touch something like this. So
Alright. What items are you going to be using?
Well, I have something perfect for this. So, because I have a scholar's pack, I have a small baggie of sand. And he is just going to start reaching into the baggie and he's going to start sprinkling the sand onto the orb.
The sand covers the orb.
Okay. The quill was organic. The Sand we'll call inorganic because it had no form of life before. I'm trying to remember everything I've got in here. I saw something here, but I figure that's probably the worst thing I could use in any situation involving time magic, and that's the Rod of Shifting. Well, Daedalus is going to take a step back, stretch out his arm to where it's just close enough to touch the orb.
But do you touch the orb?
I'm getting there. He's covering his eyes, leaning his hand down. Ding. He has touched the orb.
Daedalus, as you touch the orb, a great, quick flash of green light envelopes the entire room. For a brief few moments, you're blinded by this light. You rub your eyes. Everything's black. And then, pale green light begins to emanate. This green light comes from a wall right beside you. You look down to see your quill. And you hear the sound of humming, mechanical, all whizzing by over your head. As you turn to look and see where this humming is, you realize you're standing on a platform. A tower made of black metal. And this is the sight that is currently in front of you.
Huh. Not what I was expecting. But he'll start patting himself down. I believe I am still alive. Okay. Well, I think now the best course of action for Daedalus would be mostly just to cup his hands in front of his mouth and just go, Professor! Professor, are you here? Is there any answer?
Nope. There's not an answer.
And I'm on just a singular platform looking out over this terrain. This makes things tricky. But the wall is right behind me with all the green light, correct?
Every building emanates green light.
And how far does the ground look to be from me?
Well, I mean, you're standing on ground, so you're pretty good, but if you're talking, like, base level, like, flat, like, center Earth, kind of.
Yeah.
About 5 miles down.
Oh, 5 miles? That's too far to levitate. Okay. And there's no other like steps or anything around this platform. I'm basically just on a certain blank by blank amount of space.
It's a circular platform that is that has a 50-foot radius to it.
Okay.
There is, of course, a there's a podium kind of right in the center. where another of the orbs is currently being clutched in a 3-prong black metal talon with markings that you don't understand.
The hell I don't! 1 second. Sheet, work with me here. Do. So Daedalus casts comprehend languages so he can understand what this thing is saying.
Would you mind me taking a quick look-see for the duration to understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear? You also... Daedalus,
Yes.
do you understand binary?
Well, since it is a sequential language, he should be able to decipher it with the spell, because it is still technically a language, a computer language.
Your brain's automatically trying to register in your head. And in fact, you even hear the humming and understanding it. It's in binary-based runoff. Just ones and zeros.
I'm going to need some kind of cipher if I'm going to understand this language. Okay, but if I had to guess, this is possibly my way back. So he's going to walk back over to the quill, pick that up, hold on to you for testing, and, So it's basically just, this orb and then whatever, just the platform that I am on, huh?
That is currently jutting out of the tower that it is attached to.
Okay, well then Daedalus is going to do one thing that he should also probably do, because the entire reason he came here, he's going to pull out the crystal and check the time on it.
Time's still going down.
Okay, well, I need to make sure that it didn't drastically drop like it did the last time.
Nope.
Okay, alright, well there's no time dilation, or if it is, it's too minute for this to track. This is concerning, but this is also strangely on brand for the professor. Oh yeah, he floats everywhere. That's why this is not a problem for him. Oh.
Hey, Daedalus.
Yes?
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 13.
Well, you definitely beat this thing. You see a small silver scarab-like machine kind of move its way up to you.
Would I recognize these as some of the things that Professor Naylock keeps around him?
It's not one of the orbs.
It's not
Those
one of the
just
orbs.
float.
Okay.
It's just a small little metal scarab that just goes... Zzz.
Concerning. Well, I'm probably in danger, so Daedalus is going to reach out and touch the orb.
You go back. Bright flash of light. You're back in the office.
Alrighty then. Well, this has been interesting, but Daedalus is just going to pull out a piece of paper and put it right next to the orb, and he is going to write down, Dear Professor Naylock, the timer has drastically dropped. If you do not find me by approximately, he's going to write down the time that is currently ticking by on there, so probably like 7 hours, 40 minutes. Then just know that that is the amount of time that I'm until this, until whatever happens with this crystal happens. Please find me at your earliest convenience. At which point he is going to leave the quill, and he is going to walk out. I should probably go find my friends.
All right. I will say that doesn't take you too long. You go and stop by... I'm assuming you're just stopping by everybody's dorm until you find out which one they're at.
Yeah, it'd probably be, let's see here. Belky's dorm's out of the way. So it'd probably start. He would start with Indare's room, then he would move to Iapetus, then Goldbloom, then Salus.
All right then, and I assume everybody else is over at Salus's? Correct? Want to make sure?
I believe that was the plan.
Yeah. I believe
Okay.
so.
Indeed.
Same with Belky and Adair?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Eventually you all hear a knock at your door.
You only hear one knock. Daedalus has learned. Salus!
Oh, all right. And he gets up and he walks on over and opens the door. Daedalus, how was whatever it was you were doing?
Honestly, I don't even know what ended up happening. It was very weird, very strange. I think I went to another plane of existence. Oh, snacks.
Wait, what?
Daedalus just
Not
sits down
even
in front of the
questioning it.
snacks.
Iapetus will hand him hot cocoa.
Tasty. Thanks for the marshmallows. Yeah. I went to go see Professor Naylock because he pulls out the crystal, which for all of you now see, it has drastically gone down in time. This happened after last night, so I went to go talk to Professor Naylock, and he was not in his office. Or in the strange demi-plane that I accidentally went into when I touched an orb on his desk.
Iapetus, like, chokes on fucking latte. I'm sorry, plane, what?
Well, there was an orb on his desk. It had a lot of, like, chronomatic energy on it, so I decided to test it. I poked it with this, I poked it with a quill. The quill went in. I tried sprinkling it with sand. The sand didn't go in, so it obviously needed something organic or partially organic to interact with it. So I touched it, and I went to this strange place that was made of nothing but black metal and green light. And then a buzzing scarab thing, looked at me, and I figured, I'm probably in danger. And so I left, and then just left him a note.
Daedalus, has anybody ever told you that maybe next time you ponder an orb, don't touch it?
I mean, I didn't touch it, right off the bat.
No, but at all.
I mean, I'm a wizard. Pondering orbs is kind of part of the job description.
Yeah, ponder, don't touch.
You can look, but you don't touch.
Exactly.
But then how would we ever
Be
discover anything?
honest.
Listen,
Mage
just
hand.
listen to
Try that.
Rocksteady next time.
No, I tried the Mage Hand Goldbloom. It disappeared when it touched the orb. That's when the testing started.
I'm sorry, Rocksteady?
Yeah. He ends up turning into rocks half the time. Listen, you can't call
No,
him, big guy and gray man all the time, yeah?
No. It's just, it's a nice one. I like it.
Oh, well, thanks.
But yeah, if I zone out
Go
for
ahead.
half a second, that might be just Naylock coming to say hi. Just wanted to let you know. So, what are we studying?
Everything, I guess. We're trying to get the into that their dig contest that was told about earlier. I asked all of our fine friends to help me out as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I can probably help in Incomancy and I believe I got to actually look back up what all classes that I have because those got buried in party notes real quick.
I do have I do believe I have the class sheet. Just in case.
I found
class
mine.
list.
Oh, well, I can help anyone with beginning computational magic, beginning Incomancy, or introduction to Archaeomancy. Anything else, I'm a little on. I know what my major is.
That reminds me, Salus Goldbloom, we're probably gonna have to hit up Professor Shrub at some point, because Arcobotany didn't go exactly the way we expected.
Yeah, that was a strange one, I'll admit. Guess that who knows, maybe we'll get a lesson on blue sloths. Maybe there'll be a question on it.
Hopefully. Also, for anyone curious, I just brought back specific drinks for each person.
Aw.
Aww.
What did she get?
So for Goldblum, just because she saw the coffee that he had before, like when we were at Sloppy Oges, she just got him a regular coffee,
Okay.
but the strongest roast or blend that she could find.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
For Salas, she got him a ginger turmeric latte because she just thought that might work. Belky, she found a hot and spicy chili tea, so she got her that.
Nice.
She got cocoa for Lucy, lavender latte for Indare, and Timony, she was like, shit, I don't know what she drinks. So she just brought her like a vanilla latte.
Yeah,
Anthony's just gonna be
coffee.
sipping this.
All kinds of coffee for her.
Yeah, he just brought her like that. And for the first time, you guys kind of just see her like sipping slowly on an iced beverage, but you have no idea what it is.
Well, I'm.
Oh.
I was just gonna say, I'm fairly confident that I'm already pretty well prepared for my classes. So if anyone needs me, I'm going to be copying this lightning bolt scroll into my book before someone tries to steal it back.
I mean, fair, I guess. Sure, just, you know, completely avoid the whole thing we were doing. Sure.
I mean, if you need help, you can just ask me. I can multitask. You can see he's already started writing down the scroll.
So, I have a question, Daedalus.
Yes?
Or wait, no, fuck. Belky doesn't call anybody by their fucking name. Sorry. I phased out for a second. Specs,
Who are
I got a question for you.
Yes?
So, like, when you write down spells, do you need, like, a spell scroll, or can I, like, explain the spell to you and you can write it down?
Well, we've actually found a weird breakthrough with the new spell I created. But typically you have to at least have some form of the spell recorded, because every wizard records their spells differently through different shorthands. So the trick is mostly to break down their shorthand and break it into your own form. I found a way around this with my terrific transcriber, because by speaking by reading the scroll audibly without the intention to cast it, the spell can copy it down. The problem is I need to be able to cast the spell at a higher level than second to copy any spell scrolls above second level or lower.
But if I, like, maybe showed you a spell, would you then be able to copy it down?
No, I kind
So-
of need to know the exact breakdown and formula of it.
So, how do people write down spell scrolls to begin with? Like, because I'm sure I know things that you don't know.
Oh, most likely.
Now, yeah, I mean, we all have different. Like, I can't burst into crystals like big guy here can.
Well, typically for a spell scroll, the trick is that as long as it's able to be read with intention, it is activated. But
So, okay, let's do an experiment. Say I want to write a spell scroll of something that I know how to do that comes fairly intrinsically to me. How would I write that down when, honestly, I would just write down the name of the spell. I wouldn't know what to do.
well, you typically I want to write down an explanation of the somatic components of the spell, so that way the person who knows is able to direct it properly, as well as any incantations for the verbal components.
Alright. So,
All the while, he's just pointing to those various parts of the actual scroll he's currently copying.
Alright, well, like, So this, I have something that'll help all of us out on various, questions that we get in the upcoming tests that are going on. It's called Detect Thoughts.
Oh, I've got 2 potions of that.
Yeah, no, I don't have potions. I can just do it. So, like, who else wants to cheat?
Daedalus just looks at you like, that's a crime!
Man, that's illegal.
Listen, it's
Like,
not
she
cheating
really
unless
said
you
the
get caught.
quiet part out loud.
Yeah, listen, it's only cheating if you get caught, right?
I mean, true, but I'd also assume that that'd be the first thing that any teacher in the school would ward against.
I mean, if they don't, it's their own fault. So, like, you know?
Yeah, good luck with that.
All I'm saying is not everybody can, so, like, why not?
Well, the biggest trick would be, even if you did have a way for us to learn it, you would still have to be able. We'd still need all of the components needed to record it for ourselves. I mean, for Iavis
Alright.
and myself, that would be roughly 100 gold and 4 hours that I could maybe cut down to 2 with my terrific transcriber.
Well, like, why would it cost? I'm trying to understand. Teach me how to do this, because, like, why would it cost money to write it down?
Because spells can't retain magic without reactive inks, and he'll just pull out the vial that Indare gave him.
But you've already got magic ink.
Yeah, and it's going to take 150 gold worth just to write down this scroll.
Oh, okay, so that's what you mean by it costs money. Okay, so, like...
Not
Alright,
only that, but every spell sometimes works differently, so you have to not only have the specially prepared ink to be able to write that stuff down, you also have to take time to practice the spell, work with the spell, and you have to try different components to see what works with you on that particular spell.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess put another way, Belky, it's kind of like how when Indare is cooking, if he chose to practice off of a recipe that was
Yeah.
given to him, he has to keep working on it, because otherwise it could get fucked up. Even if the answer is like right there in front of them on use like this much sugar, etc., it's still like applying it and getting used to how it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you can teach me how to make spell things, I'll try and make one so that, you know, maybe you guys will have a leg up.
I'd have to actually look up how bards create spell scrolls. I never actually looked into it.
Listen, it just comes naturally. It's not, I don't think about it, I just do it. Plus, it's something that I learned from my dad.
There is something I did want to bring up in regards to plan to cheat.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Specs, it's only illegal if you get caught. And besides, I am not the only person who's going to be cheating. How do you think I've managed to get the grades that I've had so far?
I don't
Do you
know.
really
we don't share any
think
classes.
I mean, fair, but me and your sister do. Your sister, who also gets good grades and sits right beside me. And, you know, leaves herself wide open for me peeking at her her answers on tests. Sorry, Red, but you kind of do.
To apologize. The way I see it, it's more of you're gonna have to be able to apply it though later.
No, not really. The only reason I'm here at the school is because my mom wanted me to go. She's an alumnus.
Oh
Honestly,
no, I don't mean in life. I mean at all. Trust and believe. I don't mean in life. I mean they didn't state what kind of exam this is. So they didn't say if it's written. They didn't say if there are going to be physical aspects. They just said it's going to be on what we know. So, like, even if, for instance, you were looking at my notes, that doesn't mean either of us could figure out how to apply it if, for instance, it's some sort of physical test.
I'm not worried about, physical tests. And Belky will flex and make, like, a muscle with an arm. Really not super worried about that part. So, yeah.
But if I may,
Sure, go ahead.
so I see a few holes with this, and I'm not saying I'm not going to be a wet blanket on this the whole way. I'm just going to focus on the logistics here.
Yeah.
So if it's a written test, right? Whose mind would you be reading?
Well, depends on who I'm sitting next to, considering I know some of the smarter people in the class.
Mm-hmm.
You pick people's brains even when there's not a test going on, to, gauge their intelligence. Plus, Red's really good in the classes that we share together, so I tend to just, read off of her paper. I haven't exactly gone poking around in Red's brain, but we're friends. And Belky will look at Iapetus and just give that little half shrug of that's breaking boundaries. We're friends. Other people is different, but we're friends.
This just tilts her head slightly, eyebrow arch, but that's it.
So, in that case, you would take the thoughts of someone who is close to you and working on particular items on the worksheet, and you would trust, probably in this instance, Iapetus to know the right answers.
Well, if you can't see somebody's paper, then you would go for option number 2, I suppose. And really, it's only things that I don't know. I'm not exactly stupid. I just don't like studying.
No, you seem... I've gotten the opinion that you're more of a hands-on type person.
Yeah. Books don't really do it for me.
The follow-up I have on that is... When we were learning about that spell a bit in class, I believe that it wasn't a very long spell. It was very much a very quick thing. Like, just a minute or 2? Something like that.
Which spell?
The thoughts spell.
Oh, detect thoughts?
Yeah. And third, I'm actually quite impressed, because I believe that... I don't know about everyone else. I don't cast a lot of spells myself, but a lot of spells tend to have a lot of hand wavy and speaking and all of that.
Well, you can do that before class, or if you're like me and sitting at the back of the class, they don't really notice all that much. Besides, I like to tap on the desk with my fingers, or fidget, me doing the somatic part of it. That's not exactly something that anybody would notice too much besides normal fidgeting.
Alright. It's all if you believe in this, by all means. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah. Why, you're not recording this, are you?
That would also be illegal.
Why? You're not recording? No, I wasn't recording
Gonna sell me out to the robots? Huh, Sully?
Why would I need to record anything for the robots? They probably record you already.
Yeah, probably.
Also
They're
illegal.
probably here right now.
Securitrons assigned specifically to us.
I mean, given the amount of trouble that we've gotten into, I will not be surprised at that point.
Yes, we
They're
have
probably...
we did just commit several crimes.
They're probably
no
still
one can
hunting.
pin on us.
Allegedly,
No.
Lucy, allegedly.
Let's be real. They're probably all hunting the absolute maniac who decided to write dicks in the sky a few days ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Is that the door?
I think it was. Here, let me get that.
There's currently a human. Male. Pretty young. Kind of knocks and goes, is this... Kind of looks at a note. Is this, is this Lark's room?
Locks?
Lark's
no.
fluid?
Do I know that name?
Roll me a history.
Double natural 1!
Amazing.
Nope.
He's in study mindset. He's like, that's not on the test. I don't, what?
I'm currently downloaded right now. I cannot take on more information.
I'm doing my tasks, damn it!
Saus, you're also kind of going, similar to this guy. It's just-
I don't think so. No.
Would we have been able to hear who he was asking for?
Yeah.
Daedalus would be like, "Oh, she's in one of our classes. No, this isn't her room. This is Sal's."
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Closes the door.
That was
Ow!
weird.
As he gets hit in the face with his door. y'all know that character?
Never seen him.
On the one he was looking for?
Nope.
I don't think I do.
I'm pretty sure Lark is in our introduction to Incomancy class. I think he might have been in there too.
Hmm.
You are correct. Lark is. And that is Professor Hootsworth's class.
Yes, I know. It's because
Oh.
it's one of the only classes we attended because the other class was Professor Melf's and she got blowed up.
Ah, Melf.
We hardly knew
We
her.
hardly knew
Literally.
ye.
Quite literally, you hardly knew her. Well, at least she went out with a smoking hot body.
Damn it.
That's shallow.
That's a
Shame on
burn.
you. That's a burn.
True.
Alright, quick, somebody stop me before I get too hot-headed.
So,
I'll come in there, I swear.
anyways. How is our studying going, by the way? Just
You
real
know what?
quick.
That's a good question. Allow me to bring up something here. Documentation number 15, bringing you up. Alright. So, for your studying, I'm gonna do something here real quick. I'm gonna use the green dice. If anyone would like to, please make history checks for each of you.
Okie dokie.
Oh boy. Natural 20.
Well,
Let's give it in hell.
Ooh.
17.
13.
Mine's not rolling, so give me a second to pull up my other sheet. Do. 25.
5. Dang.
Well, I have good news for all of you. It's studying. You beat the DC by quite a lot, considering this thing fucking was pretty badly set.
The irony is Daedalus is doing all of this while also spending time to copy a spell into his book.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell
So
me
I
how
will
many.
say this.
I was-
You all beat this thing approximately by 3 times. So, studying for you all is going pretty good. So... There is something I would like to do for everybody.
Yes. Salus rolls his eyes that you can't really see because he doesn't exactly have pupils. He gets up and he heads on over to the door. He opens that up again.
A turtle is currently standing right in front of you.
Hello. How can I help you?
Hello. Isn't Darren here?
Indara's head perks up, and he wanders over. Hello. How can I be of assistance to you?
Hello. My
Hello.
name's Dexter Dex Hardshell. Sorry to bother you. Got you a gift. I'm giving these out to everybody. And he hands you a small pot that has a small plant in it.
He takes it. He looks at it. Thank you very much. That is incredibly kind of you.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
He gives a happy
As you're a
smile.
fellow islander.
Yeah. I'm from, well, I'm not from this particular plane, but I'm from an island in the middle of the tropics.
That's nice. I come from a small archipelago of islands. Far out and towards the other Honda area. We're mostly on clerics and druids for vegetation.
Nice. Do you have You have very many sea monsters near your archipelagos?
Sea monsters, not really so much. We've just been trying to work our way into making some things. You know, me and my dad, we both kind of hate the idea of the old reliance on trying to rely on the druids and clerics for sustainable vegetation. You know, the seawater's not really all that great.
I can see that. Eventually, not to mention if something happens to the magic and you rely on magic too much, it'll mess up with the ecosystem.
Yeah, I was hoping we can actually meet up one day. You know, do some work together. I'm hoping to actually do some pretty good.
That'd be nice.
Well, thank you. Anyways, I gotta get going. I got a couple more presents to deliver for some people. Enjoy the nice gift. It's called fishweed.
Thank you. I will keep that in mind, and I look forward to looking into it and learning about it.
Of course. Take care now. And he merely decides to just slowly walk away.
And Dare gives a little bit of a happy smile and a wave, and as soon as the door closes, Goldblum, what is this thing?
God,
Didn't
what
you
is this
hear
thing?
him? Didn't you hear him? He said it was fishweed.
Yeah, fishweed. If you would like to know about fishweed, roll me a nature. Whoever's proficient with nature checks.
Hey, me too.
Sure.
He's proficient.
Hey!
Wow!
Dirty 20, sure.
Dirty
Oh, fish
20!
end. He's not a tree person.
Alright, well. I'll say this right now. Goldblum, you've heard of fishweed. It's a green leafy plant that grows in areas of shallow water, like coastal waters or small lakes. The leaves can be chewed to basically not necessarily warm up the body, but prep it for, like, extremely cold temperatures. And, more importantly, it's useful because due to the fact that it preps the body for such a shock, it's actually been used in medicinal remedies to help choking victims, especially when it comes to, you know, getting rid of the water out of their lungs. All it takes is just one leaf to be ground up and mixed in with, well, basically any form of herbs, and it provides that up to at least 5 minutes of being able to get rid of any water lung.
It's a water plant. It's good if you're going swimming, especially in cold waters, or if you're drowning.
Huh. Neat.
That's a kind gift. I'm going to have to make him something.
Also, I just
You said-
realized we've basically made Salus's nightmare. The school introvert has like 4 of the school's extroverts in his room, and so they're all coming looking for them.
I
And you said this person was Dexter Hardshell?
Yep, Daxter Hardshell. I can type up the name if you would like.
Please.
Alright. There you go.
Tell me there's a student named Cash.
I see what you did there.
It is true. We should probably also try talking to some of our club mates. They might know something about this the tests if we have any second years.
It's not a bad idea. Oh, and just as a quick aside, because I do agree with this idea, but you did remind me of something.
Oh?
Keep an eye out for any Blood Bowl players. We ran afoul of one earlier this week, Goldblum and I, and he seemed right miffed. So he might come back for one of both of us.
Okay. Well then, I'll be right back. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I think the Eldritch Research Society would like to know about this demi-plane on the campus, so I'll be right back.
All right, and Daedalus, yeah, I'm assuming you open up the door?
Yes.
Cool. Allow me to do this.
Oh, there it is.
Daedalus, as you open up the door and you decide to immediately walk out, you hit into something that's covered softly, but definitely underneath has a hard body.
I would say that before, like after, while registering the pain, Daedalus would hear the, like, pure radiating silence that is our background ambient noise and recognize time stoppage.
No time stoppage.
Oh.
This is in real time.
Oh, ow. Sorry, what?
You look up to see Professor Naylock.
Oh, Professor, you got my note. Great. He reaches in and
I
pulls out the
did.
crystal. So, I don't know what
May I
happened.
come in?
Salus, can Professor Naylock come in?
Salus is going to quickly give a quick glance over to Belky.
Belky is glaring at him. Just Belky doesn't make any sort of like attempt to hide her disdain for Nylock.
Yeah, he can come in.
All right, Daedalus will
Thank
step out of the
you.
way.
Naylock moves in, and as he comes forward, he goes, I have received your note. What is going on?
So I don't know what happened, but he pulls out the crystal and shows we lost approximately a week and a half on the timer, and it's probably going to go off today.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I told you about that like an hour ago.
I phased out. I'm sorry.
Let me see. He immediately extends one hand from behind his back forward with an open palm.
He just sets the crystal in there.
He immediately begins to roll it until it is between his thumb and his pointer finger. His eye begins to zoom in on it. This distortion is not natural. This shouldn't have happened.
Also,
He then begins to look around the room and begins to
we don't have it yet.
kind of walk around and look at everything.
You know, now seems like a great time to use detect thoughts and see if I can pick up his surface level thoughts.
Alright. Let me read the spell just real quick. Intelligence 3 line to speed. Creature affected. Initially learn.
I'm not trying to pry. It's just, what is he thinking off the top of his head?
The countdown should not have immediately gotten to this point already.
Mm-hmm.
And something is very off with everything.
Belky is just going to sit there, stay silent, and just listen to the thoughts in his head while he's here.
Belky, I will say for the little bit of time you will have to read the surface thoughts, you'll hear mathematical formulas being put into your head.
If I can keep my papers and things like that more or less like where you can't see them, I will try and write them down. Attempt to. It's probably not gonna go well.
Roll a. What would this be? Copy down everything.
Sleight of hand?
Roll me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Oh, fuck. Fuck! He thinks too fast.
You think too fast indeed, because he went from basic algebra to now he's moving on to trigonometry.
Yeah. I tried.
Mm.
I failed trigonometry twice. It sucks.
Professor, if I may, what do you mean the countdown shouldn't have happened too fast? As far as I know, you've only told my brother
So,
about the puzzle and the need to solve it and to wait.
that was in his head.
Oh,
Sorry.
I
if
thought when he walked in, he said
Yeah,
that's
no,
odd. It shouldn't
no.
have happened that
He's
fast.
just like, So he's just feeling the wall, and then he moves over to another wall and he starts feeling it.
What are his thoughts at the because it lasts for a minute, so like why is he messing with the wall?
Mathematically speaking, he's trying to redo an entire equation.
But like
What?
even though he's doing math in his head, it should be like, for what purpose is he doing math? What is it he's trying to figure out?
The walls aren't in their right spot. He begins to feel the desk. The desk is not in its right spot. And it's at this point he goes over and touches Goldblum's head and goes, "You're not in the right spot."
What does that mean?
Oh no. Daedalus is now starting to sweat. Because we have something exactly for this, and we might have accidentally activated it. I'm saying this above game, not to the professor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I knew we found a thing that shifts everything slightly to the left, however.
Yes, but to do something like that affects all of space and time.
And
Apparently-
you shifted it to the right.
Okay, to the right. Alright, still. Now we need to find one that shifts it to the left.
Don't worry. Naylock goes, "Everything is completely off. Wait here." He immediately goes and has one of his orbs fly over from behind his back to him. He then touches it, and glyphs begin to appear, and he begins to swipe at each glyph in the hand. No. No. No.
Frost, I have a quick question.
Yes?
Is he looking at Daedalus at all?
Nope. He's too concentrating right now on the glyphs.
Very good. Daedalus is going to very, very slowly sidle over to Indare.
Please roll me a stealth!
Oh, this will be great.
I cannot wait to see this! We're already getting fun!
Oh no, I accidentally closed my sheet. 1 second.
Oh,
No!
you're fine. Take your time. Take
Like
your Tims.
True, and maybe you could check that one note I just sent you.
Hmm.
And let
in-
me take a look at this note!
Passing notes in class.
How dare.
Of course. Give me just 1 second.
Also,
Oh,
just to confirm, so when
Rough.
when Naylock walked in, so he didn't say when Lucy told him it suddenly started counting down that was odd.
Hmm.
Oh,
I thought I heard that part.
He's like, that's not right. And then he went.
Okay. Because yeah, that's what she meant that's what I just meant when she asked the question, like what he meant by, like, that's not right or that's odd.
1 second.
I will also point out for both you and anyone who listens to this in the background, Daedalus rolled a 5 on his stealth.
Can I be? Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Let's start with the bad news and work our way up.
There is no bad news. There's only good news.
Okay.
Okay, thank God.
The good news is you're fine. He's way too damn concentrating right now on
Good.
everything at the moment. And give me 1 second because I do want to show everybody something.
Oh no.
Because do.
I know someone's very much going to appreciate this, and they might be sitting silently on our call. But well, while Naylock is busy not noticing Daedalus is going to cover his hand with his cover his mouth with his hand and use message to say to Indare, I need you to put this in your magic bag.
Indare is going to very carefully slip a hand to his waist. He's going to grab the hem of one of the pockets of his handy haversack, and he's going to slowly slip it open.
Yes. And, above game, I will show everybody the new art of Daedalus! Yay!
Ooh.
Courtesy-
Damn.
Courtesy of
Courtesy of one. Oh, go ahead. I'm paused.
I was gonna say courtesy of our very talented lead character artist, Flustered Bun.
Yeah.
Hey.
I wanted to show this off 2 weeks ago, but OBS hates all art, so I could not set up a slideshow. So
Yeah.
now
We
you can
love
see-
you, Bun.
Yes.
We do love you. Look at him and his punchable face.
But yes, while this is going on, Daedalus is going to mage hand the rod of shifting into the haversack.
The giant rod of shifting into
All right.
the haversack.
It's not
Please roll me-
giant. It's like just
Please
a
roll
rod.
me a sleight of hand.
Oh boy. Okay.
So long as you don't nat one, everything will be fine.
Why would you
Oh,
put that
no.
evil on
See
me?
him doing it?
Because it's happened enough times.
Okay, 18.
Oh, thank God.
There, you see, nothing to worry about, and nothing can go wrong.
Wow.
And you have now given Indare the rod of shifting.
The
Well-
universe
No.
screams.
I always knew Indare was shifty.
Well, let me just put it this way. Daedalus has just possibly made sure that none of us are connected to the actual crimes that we just committed. Which now
Krista, I
have
just wanna-
affected the multiverse.
Krista, I just want you to know that I really appreciated that. I just wanted to let you know.
No worries, friend, no worries.
God damn it. Alrighty. Eventually, after 10 minutes of pure just scrolling, he eventually stops on one glyph and goes, this one. He immediately taps the glyph. And you watch as the orb begins to shift like a spherical Rubik's Cube. And eventually a small green light shoots out. Nailok, holding up his hand, grabs on upon the light. And there is now a rod in his hand.
Oh no.
Okay. This should do it. You might all feel... Actually, I'm not sure if you will feel anything. And with that, he activates it. There. Everything should be good. Puts the rod up to the one orb. It absorbs it. And he goes, now, hold on. I need to check. Pulls out the crystal. Looks at it. Alright. It has been set to its appropriate time. Hands it back to you, Daedalus.
Oh, lovely. Is there anything I should do to prepare for when this thing happens?
He looks at you. Make sure it stays fresh.
Fresh.
The hell does that mean?
Sorry, Professor. What?
Like a vegetable?
Okay, I'm going to need to invest in a cooler. All right.
Look, with all due respect and all, what the actual fuck is this supposed to be counting down to?
You solved the puzzle. There is a reward. You will get it.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a reward. This sounds like the end of the world kind of shit.
Go ahead.
If it was to be the end of the world, I would not entrust it with your hands.
Belky just rolls her eyes.
I'm curious about the crystal as well, but I'm also quite curious. He just kind of gestures around to everything. What?
Oh yes, you are not aware. The entirety of the universe was moved over at least by 2 inches to the right. I've reset everything by putting it 2 inches to the left, back in its proper place.
spits out her beverage partially.
The whole universe.
Yes. Everything shifted to the right. Well,
Daedalus,
everything here.
Daedalus has the most, like, stone-faced, like, just trying to look like nothing is the matter, just...
Please
Or
roll me a
stone-faced in
deception.
Goldblum.
We are all simultaneously making the Saitama okay face.
Except Daedalus.
Because
Daedalus,
Daedalus
please roll me a deception.
12, better than I expected.
You know what? He's gonna roll the green dice today. Yep, that went off. Hey, where'd you go, buddy? Oh, there you are.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh, okay.
It doesn't count if it's on the ground.
Alright, fine.
That sounded like it was good
It
for
was
us.
at a low roll, but if you want to re-roll it, okay.
No?
You're lucky it rolled on the same thing.
Oh.
Anyways. Everything is fixed. Oh, good, you're studying. I actually am proud to see some students actually take initiative.
Additionally,
Insight check that.
Go ahead.
I am literally here to improve.
Yes. Also, I'm afraid I'll lose my grant if I don't do well.
10.
You were saying as well, in there?
additionally, Professor, thank you for the help with the festival. Apparently, Lord Prismari took quite an interest to the gift.
Good. Especially considering the fact that Lord Prismari's daughter will be here as a new student.
What?
What?
When?
Next year.
Oh.
Huh. Neat.
Be
Well,
good.
and Belky elbows in there. Then you can try proposing a second time, see if it works.
That was not a proposition. That was just a gift. It is customary to give the lords, especially if they are of the draconic nature.
Listen, you weren't there. Catmandu proposed.
He was literally at the table conversing with
Oh,
one of the lords.
sorry. I thought he wasn't there. Sorry. For a segment, he wasn't there. Sorry.
It
At
is
least if I'm misremembering, that's my bad. The outside of
okay.
character.
Time
Sorry.
magic is fucky wucky.
Listen, the universe just shifted. Like, forgive.
And in my defense, I have no idea about human customs and traditions. How was I supposed to know what humans do for mating rituals?
I don't know either. Don't look at me. I'm
It's
not
not
even
just
flesh
humans,
and blood.
oh, for
You're all
God's sake.
spongy.
Listen, he's not from around here.
Back home, when a female is interested in a male, she walks up, drops a pig at his feet, picks him up, and carries him off.
So how is she dropping it? Then she's just leaving a pig in the middle of the street.
She gives it to his family,
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
That's
and
typically
then she
called a
picks up
dowry.
the male and walks off.
You know, Indare, I honestly
leaves
need
the
to hear
paper.
more about these customs. 'Cause
Do
that
it
sounds
now.
great.
Hold on. Immediately gets one of the orbs to go over to you and Dare. Could you please repeat that? I would like to put this in for notes.
So they're not losing a son; they're gaining a pig. Got it.
Oh my god.
You
The
see,
only time Naylock and I disagree on something.
in
The universe is now in Doomsday Clock.
where I come from, it is customary when the female is interested in a mate, she must pay a dowry to the parents of the mate that she wishes to take. So she typically gives a gift to the family, and that gift is typically some kind of food. Wild boar is often a very valuable commodity on my island, so when my mother decided that she wanted my father as a mate, she gifted his family the largest boar that she possibly could before she picked him up and carried him away. Now, my mother is about 7.5 feet tall.
What
My
the hell?
father is about 4 feet tall.
Wait, are all of the cats on your island like that?
He looks down at the fact that he is 6 feet tall. No, my father was just a different, shall we say, a different breed.
So why was your mom giant level height?
Good genes.
That's bigger than our big man here.
Yes.
Sounds like a tall glass of water, if I'm being
Yes,
really
she
honest.
she is very scary when she wants to be. She can be very intense. She is the lead huntress of our village for a reason.
It is
Thinks
also
of Mama Lenoir.
Okay, so I'm curious, because, like, sizes and everything and all, I get that. But, like, was your dad super smart? Was he, like, really good at something? Why pick him?
He's a merchant and a bard.
Ah, no, say no more. Bard, I understand. That's how my folks got together.
He holds a hand under his face. Where do you think I get my charisma?
Belky just punches him in the shoulder and she laughs.
Ow!
Actually, there is a pattern that is related to greater production of testosterone, especially for larger species. It is also found highly within well, not males, females.
Belky just stares at Nylock, ruining the fucking mood.
Meanwhile, Daedalus just takes out a notebook and writes that down.
Yeah.
They're more dominant capable. On top of that, they have better survival instincts.
Daedalus,
Using his
just go ahead.
using his arcane tinkering, Indare will show a relatively life-size comparison of his mother and father. His mother is a lynx tabaxi, or his mother is a lynx tabaxi. His father is a munchkin cat tabaxi.
Oh my god,
That's
he's
funny.
so cute! He's a teeny boy!
She likes
Wait.
the short stacks.
How did you get from a lynx and a munchkin to a Norwegian forest cat?
He is Indare is a Norwegian lynx.
Oh.
Mm.
So
I'd like
is his dad the long hair then?
His mother is the long hair.
Oh, so
I'm-
he just takes after his ma. Got it. Okay.
Physical appearance, he takes after his mother. Personality, he takes after his father.
Yep, checks out.
I like
Yes,
to think
Alex?
that this whole room right now is all individually reading a biology book. Half of us are looking at the pictures, and the other half are actually reading the text.
Yeah, basically.
Mm.
Though, actually, no, there's a swing, and that's Goldblum who's doing both.
Yeah. This is free information. You should utilize this.
Yes.
It's free
Every
info.
opportunity to learn is an important one.
I'm sorry, I just imagine Goldblum fucking discovering Wikipedia.
Oh god.
This is all free!
It's free! Wait, hold on. Someone does the zoom up on Nylock's face and he just goes, it's free at this stage.
I just said.
I know! You just made it better!
Well, Professor,
Oh
thank
god,
you.
we're gonna have so many fucking meme ideas that I'd love to fucking...
I thought that's what this whole campaign was for. Just generating meme ideas.
I mean, we say that Bun has already dropped one of the memes in art.
Mm.
It's true, they're running.
But, at this point, Daedalus will speak up. Well, thank you very much for the help, Professor. I'll be sure to let you know whenever the timer gets down.
Good. Anyways, take care. Do not bother. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with that anymore. Just study and do not cause trouble. I will not be there to protect you.
What is that supposed to mean?
Naillock turns and goes, I'm no longer head of security. Remember?
Man, that really sucks, doesn't it?
Yes. It does. That
Well.
was a good pay.
Well, does he leave? Above game?
He stands there awkwardly for like a solid 2 minutes and then he just goes, oh, yes, that's right. You're not in my office, I'm in your dormitory. Okay, goodbye. Do not bother me.
I am no longer a part of this scene. I will stay in the corner. You no longer have to talk to me.
Yeah.
he,
So
he immediately goes and walks out, and one of the orbs just like kind of nudges the door to close, and then just quickly gets over before it closes in.
Okay,
Alright.
the second that door closes, Daedalus is literally going to collapse to the floor, hyperventilating.
okay. Belky looks at the rest of the party, waits for a beat to like listen to make sure Nylok has properly left, and then goes, "Yeah, so remember what I said about cheating? Yeah, detect thoughts does other things as well. Like, let me know that hey, that little gemstone you had, yeah, it wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah. I didn't think I activated the rod.
Yeah, so we're getting rid of that, right? Or destroying it.
We're all of the opinion that we do not want an individual of Nalok's persuasion constantly coming in and check out. We basically have a summon Nalok staff. I do not want that, and I do not want it to exist.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Just be very
No,
careful.
and
If that's
Salus is going to walk. Salus is going to sit up from what he was doing, walk over to Indare. Indare, please tell me that that is not you being coy, and you will actually get rid of it.
Don't worry. I will take care of it.
Throws the rod into somebody else's fucking bag.
Well, come
It's
on.
been taken care of.
Nylok walks out, closes the door. Immediately, everything shifts again.
No,
I'm not really doing it, but that would just.
that would be delicious. Not gonna lie.
No. I have a plan. I know the perfect
Uh-huh.
person to give it to. He just turns to
Don't-
Iapetus. Dad.
What?
Wait, what?
Dad. Above game, remember?
Oh, wait, giving the rod to Dad?
Yes. He's the perfect
Oh,
person to
yeah,
give a mysterious magical item to and make sure nothing bad happens.
Actually? Wow, Guys, he's right.
Sorry, that was my line.
I'm actually... Wow, yeah, no, he's not wrong. So... Dad likes to tinker a lot, so I mean, to be quite honest, if anyone would know what to do with it and what more could be done with it, it would probably be him.
Indare, could I please have the rod back?
What rod?
Give me a second. This is going to be the stupidest test because it's the densest man.
I swear to fucking God, it's the fucking...
Oh, God.
At
damn
which
it.
point... Oh, no. How did you lose the rod?
You never gave me anything. You never handed me anything.
I put it in there with Mage
He's
Hand.
gonna
Which is
psych
technically the truth.
hell out of Indare.
That is...
Mage
oh.
hand. He handed it to you out of character, but still.
No, I held the bag open. He made it in. I did not lie.
He literally did not hand it over.
That is a soft 20. She smells the bullshit in there.
We just lost an item that can affect time and space. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
We're
no.
all just like, Daedalus is freaking out. Literally, everyone else in the room is giving Indare the dad stare.
What? What?
You. Hmm.
It's out of
Okay,
Come on.
okay. I know what I need to do. I reach into the bag, I pull out Sassy Sally Jane, and I hand it to Daedalus.
It is at this point that Sassy Sally Chain comes out with a good little... Well, how should I put it this way? Good little, tart. Give me 1 second, because I have an entire list of fucking
I know, that's why I'm
insults.
waiting before I do my bit.
is so minuscule that if a zombie cracked your skull open, they wouldn't have enough to spread even on a single cracker.
At which point, Daedalus just looks at in there. You lost the evidence of one crime and hand me the evidence of another.
Blank stare. And they're slowly leaning forward towards Daedalus.
Daedalus will start leaning
Wide-eyed.
towards him. This is bad.
Meow.
Did you just say meow?
No.
Now kiss.
What?
Yep.
Thank you, CG.
I am not about to steal this boy's first kiss.
Oh, thank you, though. Huh. Introspection on that for later.
I take back Sassy Sally Jane.
I would like right
to...
before it gets muffled, you hear. When wizards cast detect thoughts on you, do they wonder why it didn't work?
Alright, I say we burn it.
No. You,
Oh, fuck.
you have to be very careful when handling any kind of object. Oh, are you talking about the doll? Yeah, that you can just burn
Yeah,
that.
the doll. Yeah, the doll.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Reduce flame.
I sleight of hand the rod into Daedalus's backpack.
Oh no.
I have a gift for this.
Self-immolation.
Oh. Well, then I guess. Well, what would I have
That's
to...
a 20 to sleight of hand it.
Well, what would I have to roll to notice this? Oh.
I mean, we're looking right at him. Is he able to, like, is he rolling with, like, normally or at disadvantage? We're looking at him right now.
You're looking at my face. You're not looking at my hands.
Hey!
This has given up and is just looking at her beverage and taking a strong sip.
All right. I'll have to think about this. Oh. Okay. All right. Think. Okay. Time and space. Slow turns to Salus.
Goldblum
Hey,
puts
let's
away
run.
his
He's
pretty
here for
flame.
you.
You're incredibly popular today.
Why did we have this here? He wants thrown over to the door. And he opens it up.
Professor Shrub is currently right in front of you. Hello there!
Oh, hello, Professor.
I'm sorry to bother you. I hope I'm not disturbing you children, at this hour.
How late is it? How long have we been studying?
Have we actually been studying? That's
You
the better
actually have.
question.
You actually have. I've made you roll. So I'd say you've probably been studying for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Good to know, because that means I can finish recording this spell in the time of my long rest.
Mm-hmm. Professor Shrub just immediately looks up and goes, "Sorry to bother you all. I hope I'm not bringing up too much trouble. Just wanted to let everyone know that while the exams are going to be coming up soon, and of course, you know, there's going to be stress and everything else, we would like to inform that all students are more than welcome to a nice relaxation and, of course, unwinding, if need be. It'll be provided over by the guidance counselor's office, and of course, we happen to have some nice food and snacks for everyone, just in case you feel like you need to, oh, I don't know, stress eat or something."
Thank
How
you
do you
for
eat
the
stress?
offer.
Yeah, I would like, Catman, tell me how would you prepare stress for eating? I would love to know.
Well, when dealing with stress, and there begins going into a long, drawn-out cooking monologue about how often when stressed, you get really tense. So what you have to do is, when you're dealing with stress is often very tense. So you often have to take a really big mallet and you just have to start whacking stress as hard as you possibly can. And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a giant tenderizer hammer. And looking at Belky, are you feeling stressed?
Oh, is that for me, or did you want me to turn that on you?
Well, it depends if you're feeling stressed. Are you feeling stressed?
Daedalus, who's incredibly stressed right now, takes a side step to the left away from the hammer.
Belky just like
To the
arches a
left.
brow with a big grin on her face with an expression of like, oh yeah, you want to try it?
Oh, is Daedalus leaving my area of effect? Is he leaving my melee range?
Well, considering that we are not in combat, every motion could be considered a disengage action, so sure. I love you, Bob, but you're not going to beat me on action economy.
Looking at all this nonsense that's happening, Salas just kind of looks out over the rest of everyone else. You know what? Considering that our study session has been interrupted a few times, what do y'all say we take up the professor on his offer?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Sure, I don't mind. Also, Frost, you said only a couple hours have passed with
Yeah,
studying?
2 hours.
Okay, so it's still probably like midday, give or take, since we met around breakfast time?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I will say this, before we go off into bio break. Basically, he's inviting everyone down into the guidance counselor's area, just so that way, like, hey, you can all just, like, sit down, unwind a little bit. The food that will be provided is pretty simple. It's basically everyone's cheap stress-eating meals of, like, hey, here's some, like, breakfast bagels, some donuts, a little bit of croissants with some nice butter, a couple different cheese boards, a little bit of some breakfast sausage meats. You know, easy things.
But
All
is
right.
this the kind of place that brings in like puppies for you to pet so that you can relieve stress?
They have stress relief rabbits.
Damn. Damn.
I mean,
Sorry,
I can
the cat's
summon
being crackheads.
emotional support dogs. Or any animal.
I
That
do have
would
a
be cool.
question. Frost, when I go to put my books away, do I notice the rod in my bag after Indare put it in there?
Yes, you would.
Okay, Daedalus is going to immediately see this. And he's going to go, I will be right back. I will meet you at the guidance counselor's office. And he is running out of that room.
There he goes again. Is Professor Shrub still there?
Yes.
Professor, if you don't mind, while we're, I guess, walking to the guidance counselor office,
Mm.
so, speaking of exams and studying, there is one thing that's kind of been bugging me a little bit. Our last class, when you realized that we were covering the wrong material, I've been curious, how's that gonna get handled on our exam then? I know you gave us the leaf, which, thank you, by the way. Just wondering what's gonna happen with that, as far as the exam?
Oh, don't worry. I've actually had a discussion with everybody within the examination, and of course, things should be pretty well. We're going to cut the arcanobotany down by at least a few questions, so that way you all don't have to worry about it. It's going to be on the lesser side of things.
Whew, okay, thank you. I figured I'd check, because otherwise I'd need to go do some, self-studying on my own.
It's all right. And besides, everything else should be quite well. And hold on 1 second. I'm getting a message, and you watch as Professor Shrub kind of dips like a one of his branches down onto the ground and goes, "Excuse me for a moment," and just stands there.
I guess he's rooted.
He's rooted in the wood.
I just imagine he's in a pot that just keeps, like, sliding.
What's the word on the grapevine, Professor?
That's nice. I'm just getting a call from my wife.
Oh,
Please give her our regards.
yeah.
Of course.
Belky, his wife is actually like really cool.
Just like leaning over and whispering, she's a tree, right?
Oh my goodness. She's so much more than a tree.
You'll have to tell me about it later.
She can shift into things.
Like a person? Is she hot?
Kind? I mean, I don't know. Do you find sloths hot?
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no, wait, back up, hold up. Wait, what?
Look, just go look it up later. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. It won't take you long. Just
Yes,
look up a slod.
Isn't that like a frog thing?
I don't want to ruin the surprise. You go ahead, look it up later. Trust me.
I'm not good.
10 out of 10.
I'm not good with magical creatures, Scott.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay. It'll be
Okay.
like what a 30-second type it in at the Biblioplex or something. You'll be fine. Antimony maybe can show you.
It's at
Yeah.
this moment I would like to say that we would like to take our bio break.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because, oh boy.
you're a little deep in the sauce today for the bio break.
True.
That
But
we are.
we
We're
also
on fun.
role played non-stop for the better part of 2
Yeah.
hours and 41 minutes.
It was
To be
how
fair, you
how
guys
do
have done
spells
some
work?
fun.
Yeah. How do spells work? Also, let's get fucking Salas a pet. Plus, chicanery.
Hey, let's
I
visit
use-
another, dimension.
I
Let's
use
shift it.
gaps to go to the bathroom, so I mean, haha.
But yes,
We learned how to.
Go ahead.
We basically have a rod of Naylock dog whistle.
Yeah.
You have a rod of universal fuckery.
I find it hilarious that for once Daedalus is the one who understands everything going on. And he is just like, no!
Yes.
Which, I just realized the letter that he is going to have to write to his dad about this is going to be something great that I get to explain out here. Because he's running straight to the post office.
Oh, that's where he's going. I thought he was gonna go give it a Nylock.
No! Again,
Well, why not?
the reason he hid it is because this is literally one of the things that would tie us to the destruction at the manor.
Yeah, but you could just leave it in his office.
True, but also Naylock is one of the people who could probably pull some bullshit out to figure out who just walked into his office and left something there.
This is true. This is true.
Also, Daedalus is
If
not exactly
anyone-
batting 100 and going into Naylock's office today.
Yeah.
There's also the fun, scary thing for people who remember all the way back to, I want to say it was episode 2 or 3. Those scarabs might be tied to something very, 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 very bad.
I wasn't there at the time.
Well, the last time someone was shown one of those scarabs, a teacher exploded.
Oh. Was she a MILF, though?
She was a MILF. Though apparently, possibly, you can't tell with elves. You just know they are hot.
See.
I'm going to step away for one quick second to use my bio break, and then I'll be right back.
Let's see. I can't cook dinner because it takes too long, but
So I'm going to put something into our text chat.
mm-hmm.
So Amanda, who is currently in chat, sent me this to describe the relationship between Indira's mother and his father.
Jesus Christ.
Is it Death by Snoo Snoo?
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
I love
my.
her already.
And it would appear that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because Indare proposed to an ancient dragon.
Yep.
Oh boy, do I have so much.
Oh, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop from that.
Oh, I've got plenty of things to look forward to. And I will give a fun little heads up for everybody, just because, why not? So, you know how there's a rod of left and a rod of right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I would like to let you all know, there's a rod of cosmic fuckery in this universe.
Is it the Rod of Sheogorath?
No,
The Jabberwock?
no. It's called the Rod of Cosmic Fuckery.
Oh, fuck.
I want
No.
more than anything.
You have 20 different fucking events that can occur from this.
Oh,
We don't
jeez.
give Daedalus coffee. We don't give Dare that.
Also-
Well, where's
Can we
just
give-
Schrodinger's cat?
Give me a few levels. Fuck you. I get something similar just by my class.
I hope you can break into the fucking ancient vaults.
Let me see if I can't. Okay, no, I can't get that to share. But I did just
I
open up
mean-
memes and see the bun draw the Naylock face. It's free real estate.
Okay,
Also-
real talk. I just want. Don't even post anything on like Twitter. Just post like the pictures and just be like, tonight's session brought to you by these images.
Oh, jeez.
Also, Bun, if I may ask a question as to the art, why does it look like the light is coming from his crotch?
You know why?
Why wouldn't it?
Alrighty, give me one
Because-
second. I am going to go grab a drink and use the bathroom.
To answer your question, it's because that's where you flash people.
Aha.
I thought it was a Critical Role Scanlan reference.
Yeah. I was
Never
thinking
actually
that,
saw
too.
the first one.
It's the only.
It was
part I saw.
good. I
Well,
liked it, but I don't think. No, that was from the first season. Never mind.
Yeah, Scanlan.
Yep. I watched the first. I watched like the Amazon special, and that's about it for campaign 1.
Ah.
Oh, I am still just having fun composing this letter to Dad in my head right now. It's just, there's so many of, don't tell Mom, you'd be so proud, don't tell Mom, isn't this cool, don't tell Mom. This part you can tell Mom because she'd be proud too. The best part about having, like, a former drow noble mom is that their morality scale is so weirdly shifted. So I have to just keep coming up with, oh, no, that's how she would take this. I hope chat's enjoying this. Also great to see our good friend Manda in the chat as well.
Hello, chat. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, we also hope you all have a happy new year. Oh, I am so looking forward to, like, just uploading last night's episode of C4 and this and just watching people react to it who follow only on the YouTube. Which, yes. Oh, go ahead.
Manda, that's the great thing. Indare does not care. Indare loves love. Before, a fun little fact about Indare, before he came to Strixhaven, he attended a different school, and at that point, he dated a love cleric. I believe she was a cleric of love.
And now he's come to this school where he's betrothed to a dragon, and the dragon's going to have to fight a sentient body pillow for his affections.
Best NPC, probably Baggy.
Yeah. I am so mad that I can't, like, I couldn't get the slideshow to work just because we have the art of Nurse Baggy from Bun.
I'm just
Bun,
imagining.
Yes.
I need this.
The different versions of Indare and Daenerys all have different sexualities, but in my mind, Indare would be pan. He doesn't care.
Also, 1 second, Zai here. Do.
Okay. No worries, Von.
No,
And also, oh my god, I love Nurse Joy Baggy.
I mean, Nurse Baggy's in our art tab, but just buried under all the other stuff that Bun and Aliko post so regularly.
I love her. Or it.
Oh.
I eventually want to learn the spell to summon baggies.
I should also do this now because we've actually had activity happen, and I'm so not used to that happening on streams, especially D&D ones. I want to thank Arpaw for the follow earlier, and Zai for gifting a tier 1 sub to Manda. Because yes, we do stand Manda here.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Bun, why do you hurt me here? Why do you hurt me while...
Bun, what we're saying is that any hole is the goal.
Well,
Nose hole.
Well, that's the thing. You're a lot of you are acting like Indare is sexual. He might just be romantic but asexual.
Oh no,
Honestly-
I'm just quoting a cool flag that I saw.
True.
Honestly, you know what? I had a joke, and I used my better discretion to not say it.
Yeah, probably best.
I'm just going to say this. Everyone, like, a bunch of people have told me that they think Daedalus is asexual. And no, Daedalus isn't asexual. He just does not think about any of that. If he discovers love, it's going to be interesting. And I'm just going to RP that on the spot.
Daedalus discovers love, and it's that one meme. Yes, I now understand the true power of love, and I will use it to conquer the universe.
Well, I also want to say, to Bun, who I also just realized, for those who are watching on YouTube, Bun isn't in the chat. Bun is currently shitposting in the call text section of our actual call. But to Bun, Daedalus is just more of like, his parents have such a weird relationship, and considering the fact that he has gone the ridiculous elf years amount of years without having a friend outside of his sister, yeah, interpersonal relationships, still grasping those.
And yet he threw
You
himself
grasp
into
it.
the astral sea at a moment's notice because of one.
Yes, because he does not want to lose one. Which is also why he immediately started doing crimes despite thinking cheating is illegal when Professor came into the room and he realized he just fucked the universe a little.
Thank goodness you didn't find toxic friends, because that would have led to some real dark stuff real fast.
Oh.
I mean, true. But then again, we still also have to meet the rest of our club mates.
You know the meeting I would love to see,
Oh?
and it's possible for it to happen. I'd love to see Daedalus meeting Warfist.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, Lord. They're dumbasses, but from two different sides of the spectrum. Oh. But, ooh, my brain. I was gonna say something and now I totally forgot. Though it also helped if I probably lit the cigarette I've been holding in my hands for the last 15 minutes.
Isn't D&D Warfist a barbarian?
True. And also, if Mando wanted to remake them, I might have made an entire barbarian subclass around Warfist just for them.
Hell yeah.
Ugh. Let's see here. Checking a few things. Oh, an Azamar Zealot Barbarian. Interesting.
Makes sense. Especially when you know, like, the super deep lore of Warfist.
Oh, yeah. I'm also glad that you've started that Frost started sprinkling in some of the NPCs we've been saving for a while. And I love that you love Dax. We might see more of him later, considering someone might have a job with them.
X is a good boy.
Dax does seem like a good boy.
I also have a
I w-
feeling I know exactly who it was who knocked on the door first time looking for someone else's room. And we might be seeing more of that guy, too.
What was his name again? Did we get that?
No, we didn't, but let's just say, as the person who helped write most of the NPCs, I know there's only one character that matches that description, so... And once we meet some of the others, like, oh, I can't wait till you guys get to meet the Eldritch Research Society, this gang of misfits. Which, again, is kind of why I picked them for Daedalus.
Yeah, I remember you telling me a little bit about some of them.
Yeah. You'll definitely get along with the people you work with, who we actually have gotten to meet. I'm glad you guys are liking the characters that showed up already. I had to up my game to match all of Frost's crazy professors.
Oh, reminds me. Oh, I think I mentioned this the other day, but I have a micro bit of similar experience to what you had when you were coming up with all these boys.
Mm-hmm.
Over in Festive Fantasy, we had our own school issue that we ran into. And that required a single class of about 13 characters, with stat blocks.
Yep.
And they were also all in a single fight. That was not fun to run, but it was also fun, but it was also not fun.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing, because the NPC stats in this game were so bad, I had to roll character sheets to make actual properly scaling NPCs for everyone in this campaign.
Dilmoon, to answer your question, I do know how to cook. Granted, I'm not a chef, but I do know how to cook. Whenever
Well,
it
I
comes to chefery, I do have trusted friends that I can turn to. We have M&W's head chef, Mr. Samuel Manatee.
I will say, just as a random aside, that you can be a cook, but you don't necessarily have to be a chef.
Mhm.
A cook is someone who can see a recipe and replicate it, and a chef is someone who can make his own recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
I keep wanting to learn to cook, and I just never find the time.
I can just stick
a
with
lot of
super
it's-
basic recipes.
A lot of it's just remembering what to do, how to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's also, time consuming, and also
Yeah.
it's time consuming and is prone to a lot of, you mess up in one area, you just mess up the whole thing, trial and error.
So I have a slight bias only because I grew up around someone who was a cook and was a cook for a school as well. But apparently she also was a chef somewhere at some point. I never got the details where. But because I grew up around that, I was used to a multitude of attempts at making different things and whether or not they would work out. But I think the best description of cooking in practice was a House episode where House was trying to deal with opioid addiction. So in his spare time he had picked up cooking, and he realized cooking was essentially chemistry
Yes. Yeah.
and experimentation, and it pretty much is. It's a lot of, oh cool, this worked on the first go, neat, I'll try it again. Oh shit, it didn't work out this well. What was the difference?
I like that
And
episode.
back.
He saved Wilson's balls.
Yeah.
Cooking
You wanna-
is an art, baking is a science, I believe.
All right. Well, it sounds like we do have everyone back, so do we want to do our usual roll call?
Sure, I just dropped something on my lap, but I am here.
Okay, so we have Zyme. Let's go from the bottom up. Willie.
it's been a while.
Damn it, you chimbied me. Krista.
I ain't seen them, sorry.
Oh. Shame. Bob.
Chimby, get back here. We need to go kill Kinch.
Frost.
Wonder what else I can bring into this universe that would be absolutely detrimental to everybody.
I'm sure you'll find out. CG.
Jesse, we gotta bake.
And well, that's the perfect time for me to actually remember to go to the game screen this time. And we're back.
Alrighty. So, we shall pick up where we last left off, and that was down at the good old relaxation lounge area
Well,
of the guidance counselor. Or,
I should technically point out Daedalus ran ahead because he is running to the post office.
oh yeah. Well then, we'll make a side trip over to the post office.
Specifically, Daedalus is going to the one that uses pixies and not owls. He was nearly killed by a mechanical owlbear. He's not dropping this conspiracy anytime soon.
You head on over to United Pixie Services.
Yeah, Daedalus will run in and be like, "Hi, could I get a box with this dimensions and cross-planar travel to here?" And he'll point to wherever it is the plane that me and Iapetus are from, because we never covered this.
Well, so here's the question. Now, let me ask you this right now. I'm going to send you a message.
Okay.
Real quickly, and I want to make sure everything is good. I'm going to put this into the one channel, if you don't mind.
Oh, I know which one. Okay.
Can't wait till 8th level where I can turn into a giant owl.
Why would you have to do this? You'd make Daedalus feel so betrayed.
It was me all along, Austin.
At that point, Duel of the Fates would go off, Wiley. The first option, Frost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will make it quite easy and simple for you then. Yeah, basically, it's your home within. It's same. Yeah. English. Fuck me in the arse. Basically, your home is still within the material plane. You're from basically here. Allow me to actually bring up, because I have an entire map here.
Okay.
Of the world of Zawarudo.
While you're doing that, Daedalus will, in the meantime, as he gets the box, he'll start composing a letter, which will read, "Dear Dad, school's going great. Now, please don't get mad, but we went on an adventure. Please don't tell Grandma." At which point, then he will say, "But some things happened, mostly property damage. We're fine, but we may have come into an incriminating item that I can only entrust into your personal hands. Please don't tell Mom." And then he will start describing what the item does. You're the only person I can trust to give this to because I'm not sure how to deactivate it. Or activate it. I may have already activated it once. But it has been since deactivated by a professor, without them knowing. So please, do with it what you will. Love, Daedalus. P.S. Please don't tell Mom and Grandma.
Daedalus, I would like you to mark down that this package will be sent over
Okay.
to the Direwood within the Grey Vale.
Okay, the Direwood within the Grey Vale, and I'm going to add that in party notes because I will forget that, especially since we might be doing some holiday drinking after this.
Oh, yes. And that above game, for everybody to know, is about about a couple 100 miles away from the Sword Coast.
Okay. Well, after he has written this letter, Daedalus is then going to burn his he's going to burn a first and second level spell slot to first. Going back to my spell list. First, to cast, spend 10 minutes casting Illusory Script on the message, because he's not sure if anyone's going to screen their mail, so they'll see a bunch of inane jabberings about how great school is. And then, on the rod itself, inside the box, he's going to cast Nistel's Magic Aura. So that way, the object seems completely unmagical to any form of scrying. Then he is going to seal it all up, mark it where it is, and do I need to pay them any gold?
No, you're sending it back home, so...
Okay. Well then, he'll hand it off. Thank you very much. And then he's going to start running off towards the guidance council area.
Alright. Now, Daedalus,
Yes.
roll me a passive perception.
Roll you a passive perception?
Well, roll me a perception.
Oh,
You
yes.
know what I mean, god damn it.
I just needed to clarify if you wanted the passive or you wanted the roll, okay?
Ugh. I'm too stupid for this shit.
Same. And Daedalus doesn't notice shit because 8.
Actually, you would notice something.
Oh.
Because it's actually happening in plain view. You're currently seeing a outdoor class being performed.
Oh. Interesting. Do I recognize any of the students?
Not necessarily. Actually, hold on one second. I want to make sure. Actually, yes, you would.
Oh, then who do I
Sibylla,
see?
soft lace.
Sibylla. Oh, yeah, she's a tiefling, right?
Correct.
Oh. Okay, so what does it seem like she's learning?
Currently, she's learning from a very familiar professor in red robes.
Oh, I'm trying to think here. Is that Morg?
Morg.
Oh. They also wander up and try to hear what they're talking about, assuming necromancy.
Actually, it's less necromantic, and you hear Morg kind of talking more along the lines of basically just general healing magic, like cure wounds. Basically, this is a sub-study of the cure wounds spell for today's lesson.
Oh, Daedalus will immediately tune out because as a wizard, he can't heal anyone. That's someone else's job. At which point he will, if his eyes lock with Sibylla, he will wave politely and then head towards the guidance council's office.
Of course.
I just want to believe that anytime like Daedalus is confronted with a magic that he can't learn as a wizard, he immediately tunes out.
Don't worry, we'll one day fix that one day. But eventually, you do make it to the guidance office area, where all your friends have currently managed to sit down, get some relaxing food, you know, pet some rabbits.
Daedalus will go up, will look for Iapetus, and once he finds him, he'll head over. It's all taken care of, Tussie. Oh.
All taken care of? I'm sorry, Lucy, you ran off, so I don't know what you did.
I found the rod in my bag. I ran off to the post office. I concealed the rod with magic, sent a letter to Dad, concealed that with magic, and it should be on its way over to Dad. And Mom and Grandma will never find out about it. Unless he tells them. I hope he doesn't tell them.
I hope Mom doesn't squeeze it out of him.
To be fair, if she asks how he gets a new invention, he'll probably tell her, but that gives us about a month, maybe 2.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of time. Good thinking, by the way, Lucy.
I did not realize how many of my spells could be used to cover up for crimes. I should probably think about that more.
Remember the family rules. It's allegedly. You didn't do anything.
True.
Little tussle of the hair.
So how's it going?
So far so good. Has a croissant in one hand, half eaten, dipping it ever so often into her coffee that she still has, and still eating. Bunch of snacks here. Professor Shrub said that we're good to go on one of our class's curriculum. So, yeah. All in all, I'm doing all right.
That's good. I'm thinking about selling one of these potions to detect thoughts.
So little tip, before you sell it, you might want to inquire around or see if the shopkeep has had it before. 'Cause given where we got that, we don't know how available it is in the school. Don't want to leave a trail of breadcrumbs, so to speak.
True, but there's no way to trace an alchemical potion unless there's a serial mark on the vial, which just seems to be one clear plastic vial. Glass. Blech. Future words.
True, but again, if we don't know if Dapplewing's Manor had a God, why can't I think of words right now? An inventory sheet. So, since it was a museum and all, so just to be on the safe side, and that way, by you inquiring, you might be able to sell it for more if it's something that the person doesn't get often in the store.
True. I need to replace a lot of ink. I wasted a lot on that one robot.
Aw, well, I mean, if there's a way I can help you with it, just let me know.
Well, I just need to ask Indare if he's got any more ink, because I wasted about 500 gold worth.
Shakes slightly at the 500 gold.
You do realize that your brother has probably spent about, that much giving you spells from his book, right?
So that's the thing. She didn't know all of the monetary values, because remember, she hasn't been there for any of the business / embezzlement that's been happening, so she doesn't know.
Well, I mean, you would know just because, you're a wizard. You know how much it costs to put spells in your book.
She'd know in regards to that, yeah, the book, but as far as, how much the ink has cost, she'd be kind of huh?
Yeah, it's expensive. Costs about 50 gold's worth of ink per level of spell.
Okay, so since if you run out at some point and you need an emergency batch, just let me know. I am working, so I can help a little.
I've already made some money off just selling the distributing rights to my terrific transcriber to the school store. He just pulls out a gold bag, and this will be the first time you notice your brother has over 300 gold on him.
What's left?
You cut out there. We only got literally the last word.
Oh, so she said, wait, and that's what's left?
Yeah.
That means you had more. All right. And she's just you know what? Okay, then good. You are fine.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a job, at least to pay for what's probably going to be all the research for my grant. I have to look into that.
Well, if you want to go around the school and check out a few spots, let me know.
True, though. You also know I'm not very good at a lot of things. You can think back to him probably trying to help with chores and failing.
Lucy, you're good at many things. You just have to be mindful for the things you apply for to play to your skills. So, perhaps, cleaning might not be your speed.
True, I'm pretty good at the opposite of that.
Maybe there's a workshopping area that you might be able to help with on campus?
I'll have to ask around. At this point, you can switch to anyone else because we've just kind of been eating up time.
Frost, I think that was to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be like that, actually, now that you mention it. Sorry, I'm trying to actually think on this one. Give me just 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Forgive. And also... hey! Hey! Get down from there. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what you're wanting to basically know is... Could you type that up, Zai? Or re-explain it. Sorry.
We were
Trying
just
to
saying
make
that,
sure.
like, we were just kind of saying if anyone else wants to have some time, like, we were kind of just eating up the scene.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, we're just
anybody
vamping.
else? Then?
I don't have anything for study time, sorry.
Otherwise, if it helps, once it gets to a certain time, I just probably will, like, excuse herself, but it's because she kind of wants to go take a walk around the grounds for the evening before she heads to bed, because she just hasn't had a chance to do that.
Want to take a walk around the grounds. I think we can make something like that happen.
I did want to ask, is there anyone else who is, like, partaking in Shrub's offer?
Oh, okay.
Which offer?
Just the guidance area is open to students. I was just curious if there was
Oh.
anyone else.
I thought we
Yeah,
all went
that-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought we
where
were all
was.
going.
Yeah.
No,
that's
we
what the
did.
start
We
was.
did.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
we're talking to other students.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
there actually is other students within. You're able to see a couple that you are familiar with, such as Lark, Boxer, you see Sekmin, Sedna, there's Aurora Luna, Winterstar, there's, of course, a few other people, and even Rosie's there. And Rosie looks haggled.
Well,
She's basically like hugging a whole bunch of rabbits.
which at that point would be the size of dogs to her because she's, I want to say, a gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Salis is going to nudge, Bilky. Looks like your number one fan's having a little trouble.
Yeah? Belky will look over. Huh. What, you think I should intervene?
It's up to you. I mean, she seems like she's struggling, but at least she has a hand on it. Besides, it's been a bit since we saw her.
Yeah, alright. Belky will wander over to Rosie and just go, "Hey, Starshine, how's it going?"
Terrible.
What's wrong?
Studying for the exam.
Yeah?
Pain.
Pain? Like, you need some aspirin or something?
No. Shoves her face into a rabbit.
Yeah, I don't speak mumble, sorry.
Morning, Banu.
You wanna run that
Look.
by me one more time?
Only no medicine, only rabbit. Just
Rabbit?
really hugs rabbits.
Ah, I see. Well, you know, I got these big, strong, hugging arms, and Belky will stretch and turn into, like, a flex.
And Dare slips up behind, uses prestidigitation on Belky, and gives her that Major Armstrong style of sparkles all over her form.
Oh, let me roll. Actually,
Oh,
roll me a
no.
performance.
Me?
Roll
Alright.
With advantage.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
If I'm there.
That's a nat 20
Ugh.
for a total of 27.
Yeah, Rosie goes, nice. Immediately hugs. Like, barely even starts hugging, like, a small bit of your bicep. It's like they're doing the above head hug.
Yeah, Belky will, like, lift her up. Just, like, you know, stand up a little bit taller and, like, lift her up entirely.
Mm-hmm.
She will do her best to make sure curling your furs. Yeah, Belky will try and cheer her up a little bit.
It's nice.
You
I
gonna
will
be
add more
okay?
bunny.
Yeah.
Belky will set her down, and then how short is she exactly?
Pretty short, actually.
Alright. In that case, Belky will kneel down to her level so that they can have a conversation, you know, eye to eye. Because that's polite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? These exams giving you trouble? What's wrong?
Ugh, don't even get me started. I've gone literally to cramming over so much knowledge.
Why are you cramming? You're smart.
I know, but even then, it's the first big exam.
Alright, you want a secret? Like a really important secret? And Belky will lean in. The best thing you can do is sleep. No, but for real, like, take in as much as you can and then go to sleep. It'll help you retain it better. If you're not getting enough sleep, you won't retain it.
Oh, alright.
It's like, it's like dirt without water for too long. So, like, you think, oh, well, water will help, right? So you take in as much water as you can. No, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a flood. It has to be slow and steady so it'll absorb. Otherwise, you just wash it all away.
Okay.
Yeah, so, sleep. Take, like, an hour-long nap, please.
Alrighty. She immediately decides to let go and drop down, and she immediately picks up one of the rabbits.
Why is she gonna let go? I about set her down because I was kneeling to her level.
She did not let go of that hard.
Oh, okay, alright, that's fine.
She's full koala.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine.
She picks up a rabbit and goes, Professor Shrub? Oh, yes, how can I help you, Rosie? I'm borrowing this rabbit for a nap. Okay, just, take a nap on one of the couches. Don't take it back to the dorm. We're borrowing these.
I leave her my rabbit. It'll last 2 hours
Yeah.
at my level.
Wait a second.
And it's fey.
Explain how you bring in the rabbit, because I don't want. Now just imagine you like click and dragging a PNG of a rabbit.
I summon it because it's an optional druid feature.
Wait,
I can cast
big
from
guy.
Find Familiar.
Big guy, hey, buddy.
Eh.
Hey,
Yeah.
how many rabbits can you summon?
Just the one for now.
Ah, shit. I was gonna
One day.
say, well, it would be really cute to give her, like, a pillow fort full of rabbits.
One day.
Yes. Can you summon, like, a sheep? They're big and fluffy, right? Or a lamb?
If I had the right ingredients.
Ah,
I need
damn.
certain things for
Sorry.
bigger animals. Yeah.
I tried to be cute. I don't know, man. Cute's not really my thing. Fun, goddammit.
Fucking hell.
I'm so happy.
Man.
Though I did just think of something I could do real quick.
What's up?
Daedalus will notice that 2 of the members of his club are there and immediately just start tugging on the hem of Iaptus' sleeve. Oh, Tessie, I want you to meet some people. Come on, this way.
Okay. Okay. I'll be right back, guys.
And so
Where are we going?
I want you to meet two members of my club. And he's going to run right over to Sekman and Sedna, if you want to describe them.
All right. For those of you who would like to know, Sekman and Sedna are members of the Kenra race. And I can bring up some information about them.
For those who don't know, there's a race of jackal folk in D&D that never get used.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And what are they called again?
Kenra.
Sekman and Kenra.
Oh, no. We're confusing
hold
each
on one
other for us.
Yeah. Sekman and Sedna.
Sekman and Senda and their Kenra folk.
Yeah, allow me to put down their name. I'll copy this and put it in... I'll put it in the call text chat.
Okay. Oh, wow, I almost had the spelling. Almost had it.
But yeah, he'll take him
Oh,
over.
boy.
Sekman, Sedna. Hi, it's Daedalus. We met a couple of times. This is my sister.
Hey!
Oh, hey. Yeah, I'm Aebitus. Nice to meet you guys.
A pleasure to meet you as well. And they both bow.
Noticing what they did, she'll bow respectfully back. Just like a slight bow, looking at him.
Daedalus will realize
Hopefully-
everyone's bowing and then quickly try to bow too.
Hopefully, hopefully my brother has been treating you guys well. Thank you for looking after him while he's at the club.
Of course. We will... You see that at least, Sedna kind of walks up to you and goes, of course. We will make sure.
Well, actually, now that I mention it, Lucy, tell me more about the club, or actually, Sekman, Sedna, all of you, like, tell me more about your club. I didn't even realize you had joined, Lucy.
Oh, well, I met Sekman on, I want to say it was our third day here, and she was handing out flyers, and I looked into it. And you know how we're trying to find out that little bit of missing history? Well, I figured the best place to go for it would be a place that specializes in rare kind of history of magic arcane law.
This is the club that you gave me the flyer for.
No, that was a different club. That one was for just a hunting for you.
Oh my goodness! For some reason above game, I thought you also gave her that flyer. My bad. Oh man, the days. Oh well, okay then. That's actually, I'd be intrigued if you happen upon anything. I haven't had a chance to meet up with my club members too much, but I did hear that we're hoping to like meet up and have a stroll along the like forest stuff campus grounds that we have. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that
Of
sounds
course. All we can say is do be careful. There is sometimes dangerous hunts.
Oh? Dangerous how? Like, she doesn't seem frightened. She actually seems, like, curious, intrigued.
It all depends upon what game is usually found within.
Well, color me intrigued.
Yeah, I think another one of our club members is also in that club too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh? I've only met, oh my goodness, what was her name? And, like, I actually know her name, but she's, like, trying to recall it.
If you want, history check.
Oh, okay. For the lulz,
The
why
DC
not?
is very low, so don't.
Where is my button? Ah, there it is. Come on, I believe in you. 21.
You can recall easily.
Got you. Okay, so she's gonna be like, I believe it was Misfit and Camillo? that are in my club.
Yeah, Misfit's also in the Eldritch Research Society.
Mm-hmm.
We still have no idea what the heck her pet is.
Oh, Misfit?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'll have to ask her about that. I didn't know that. I didn't even know she had a pet.
They do.
Makes a mental note. Huh, I need to chat with Misfit at some point.
But yeah,
There's
you'll
quite
also...
a number of people.
Yes.
I'm sorry, J. Frost, what was that?
Oh, there's quite a number of people.
Yes. You'll also be proud to know they trust me about the owls.
Hmm. Wait, you've told them about your conspiracy theory about the owls?
Daedalus crinkles at conspiracy theory. My hypothesis,
We
yes.
Okay. You told them about your hypothesis, but you know that she looks at him seriously. Daedalus, you know that not all owls are bad, right? Like, you don't want to... What about your professor? You don't want to end up hurting him.
He's an owlin, not an owl. I don't know if they're connected yet. I just don't trust him because he already tried to look at my spellbook once.
That's because he's your professor. I mean, you didn't care when one of the founders wanted to look at your spellbook.
They're an ancient dragon.
Yes, but they're still technically someone you hadn't met before, had only heard of and seen pictures of. Certainly you trust your professor to some extent with your spellbook, in the class, in front of everyone.
Well, he gave me an impossible task the first time he met me, so no. I just accomplished it by sheer luck.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this alone. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. All right then. Well, I do thank you for I do thank you for your time as far as like having a chance to meet you guys. Maybe we'll happen upon each other in like club activities that overlap, perhaps. If I encounter anything along my hunts, I'll be happy to let you guys know if I see you, or at least let Lucy know and he could pass it along.
Of course. And they both bow again. And it's at this
She'll bow
moment-
too.
It's at this moment a bunny headbutts into your leg.
Huh? Bunny! Oh. She's like, she gonna pick up the floof. It's without hesitation. Pick up the bunny.
Quack, quack. Quack, quack.
She's holding it up in front of it the way you sometimes hold a cat, like slightly under the arms, eye level. And she's just gonna like bring her nose really close and nosy the bunny nose. Hello there. Thank you for greeting me.
Quack.
Aww, and a little scritch over the ears.
It thumps its foot in approval.
Oh man. Kinda remind me of home a bit. And she's gonna like bring it in and like hold a little bit and then just like keep scratching and doing the pets.
Aww. It's at this point you all kind of see Professor Shrub immediately go, oh, thank goodness that spray actually worked. And immediately he begins to just kind of walk off, and he's just like, alrighty everyone, if you need me, I've got some work I needed to get done.
Okay, Professor. Have a nice day.
Yeah. And you as well!
Thank you for letting us know, Professor. I appreciate it.
Anyways, you all take care. Make sure you rest and relax. And you don't burn yourself out. But, in any event, we're going to do a little bit of a joyful time work here, if that
Okay.
is fine by all of you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I will say that the words of your professor kind of ring with each of you, and I will say this. You all return back to your studies. Of course, there is going to be some nice laughs here and there, a couple jokes. And then the lunch bell rings. Or should I say, the meal bell rings.
All right. Guess we'll head to the cafeteria.
I need something more substantial than all these croissants I've been munching on.
Oh, that's right. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
There are croissants right there!
I have a hyperfixation problem. I thought you would have noticed this by now.
So, would you like me to run down today's meals?
Why, sure. Torture us, Frost.
By all means. Today's meals are a tater tot casserole, pad thai, chimichanga, easy crockpot pot roast, cowboy stew, a chicken and shrimp Alfredo, cube steak with gravy, with a serving side of mashed potatoes, carrots, and peas. Delicious, delicious let me try to pronounce this correctly. Mustaciole, stir fry, coq au vin, baked feta pasta, fish tacos, meatballs with apricot chicken, sausage potato skillet, cornflake chicken, shrimp quesadilla, creamy spinach chicken, five different pizza styles, steak and shrimp kebabs, slow cooker pork loin, ground turkey with vegetable soup, tender spare ribs, and I would like to say a little bit of poyette fafa.
Well, Daedalus is going to ignore all of the fancy things and go for the fish tacos because fish is brain food and also can be eaten with one hand, so you can keep copying in the spell.
Okay.
Kebab me.
Kebabs for the Alice? What about the rest of you?
You
Kebab
had
me.
me at chimichanga.
Okay.
Gotta get that spicy pad thai.
Okay.
Bob, kebab for me.
Kebabs. Wow, everybody's going for the bobs.
What can I say? Everybody likes putting Bob in their mouth.
You're not wrong.
Only if it-
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
only if it's K, Bob.
Yes, consent is very important.
I was going to say 100 years in jail for that, CG. That one.
I gotta get
physically
at least
hurt me.
one.
Oh.
Oh. Before I forget, should I also list off the desserts?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's go down the. I've got 5 desserts for you all.
All right.
Pecan chocolate bread and butter pudding. Poached pear vacherin, which is basically a meringue. A melt and mix white chocolate and ginger mud cake. Baked ricotta cake. And to top this all off, a sticky ginger pudding.
Well, Daedalus in his typical hyperfixation mode is just eating enough of the, tacos to get full.
I'll have some ginger pudding.
Alright, if that's the case, allow me to at least show you what you're eating, Salus.
So once ginger and white chocolate pudding, because that sounds fucking amazing.
Ooh.
Oh!
Anybody else?
See if I can't drop that into there.
The ginger pudding was the good choice.
Oh, there's some good choices. What about the rest of you? Any desserts?
And there's taking the
Ginger.
baked ricotta cake.
Baked ricotta cake. Okay. Allow me to drop this for you as well.
And yay, this time Roll20 will actually let me show the images that you're giving us, and now chat can suffer with us.
Yeah. Anybody else?
J. Frost, I don't need to wake up tomorrow and bake mistakes.
Start the new year off right.
Yeah. By eating something sweet.
Oh boy.
Well, I would
We're
say...
hungry.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, while this is happening, maybe while the rest of the party are, getting things, Daedalus will whisper with message to Iaptis. Yeah, I thought it was a really good sign when the first person who wanted me to join a club was a dog person, considering what we're here to look for.
She'll respond. Huh, that's a good point. Keen insight on that one. Although, please, be careful about the owl stuff.
There's been too many coincidences. It can't all be happenstance.
I can agree that there have been too many coincidences, but I just don't want you to possibly get yourself in trouble from having tunnel vision too far.
Next thing you know, one of us is going to be possessed by an owl.
You just see, his eyes widen behind his glasses.
She resists you see her hands go up to go around his head, near where the ears, and immediately stops herself oh my god. She basically stopped herself from ear muffing him.
God. I would also like to put a final scene in before we wrap up tonight's session. And it is actually going to be during this mealtime.
Okay.
Go for it.
During everyone's enjoyment of this delicious food that is currently out and for everyone, you will all actually happen to see Professor Morg coming in. And you notice that he's wearing a hat. A very small cone hat on top of his head. And he goes up to the lunch line He talks to one of the cafeteria workers, and you see a small little cupcake placed upon his plate. And he walks away with a beaming smile on his face.
Oh, wait. Was it his birthday?
Is it a birthday? A doodly doo?
Doodly do.
Anyone who wants to try to look at that hat and see if it's his birthday.
Sure. Daedalus will try
What
to
we-
What is
insight
it?
the birthday hat.
What we rolling?
Insight.
Perception.
Oh, that is not as good.
Nat 20, 24.
8.
22.
I lied.
Sorry,
It's way
21.
better. 19.
21.
I see a 7-Eleven. Somebody make a wish.
23. He wishes for more slushies.
He wishes for a Wawa.
I'm sorry. We're a Sheets family here.
Don't you start this fight again.
Oh, Sai, you know I'm about to roll up the sleeves.
Nah, I don't want a Wawa, but can I get a bottle of Naked?
Sorry, all we have is fully clothed. But for every one of you, it's a birthday hat. He's walking away beaming as he got a birthday cupcake.
Aw.
Our
Aw.
necromancer's happy that he's aged.
It means he gets to become a future study date.
Oh.
Well,
So,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, by all means, I interrupted you.
At which point, like, since you said all of us were able to get, even though me and Bob rolled like garbage, Daedalus would just yell, "Happy birthday, Professor!"
Thank you! He is immediately going to just take a first bite out of that cupcake, and you see the face of joy overcome this man.
Aw.
I don't think I've ever seen him smile. That's so cute. It's the little things, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And as we wind down this session, everyone enjoying their food, preparing for the lovely, lovely future events. There's a nice little ring that goes out. Attention, students. We would like to wish Professor Morg a happy birthday. And, as of today, a successful 15 years of service for the Strixhaven Academy.
This man is about to fucking die.
It better not start raining. It better not start fucking raining.
Nah,
Terrible day for rain.
it's a very sunny day.
You better not have a theme song, Frost, so help me.
Silas, we're going to need you to deliver the birthday present from Nylock.
Aw.
You don't know about that. Shut up.
Yes, I do. You told me.
You don't know about that. Shut up.
And of course, before we end the session, I would like to say this to anyone with a perception of 15 or more. You see a metal scarab flying off holding another cupcake, closely following behind your professor.
A
Ah.
metal what?
Scarab.
Ah, okay.
Also wearing a hat.
Aw.
It might be Nylock's birthday.
Well, now what we've discovered, Naylock deals in orbs, but apparently Morg deals with scarabs.
Oh,
Above game,
as
the
long
plot
as it
has...
doesn't explode.
Yeah, I was about to say, above game, the plot might just start starting to become dummy thick.
Mm.
It might. But I believe this is a good place to wrap up our final session for this year's Saved by the Spell.
Woo!
On a good note.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened today. Everyone got to enjoy some peace. Because let's face it, we all need a little bit of peace.
Yep.
And I believe next week, well, not next week, but the week after, because fuck, my brain is fried. I believe it would be a good time to do some more studying and some club work.
Ooh.
Oh, this is gonna be great. We already got to meet some people.
Mm-hmm.
I have been sitting on the fact that Daedalus seems to have a weird ability to become close with dog people. For
Accept it.
yeah. Well, actually, no. Daedalus is the only the non-literal dog person in this group of friends.
It's because they can smell you.
Sniff, sniff.
But yeah, before we get into the wrap-up, I want to thank all the people who have helped make Saved by the Spell happen. All these guys were here earlier it was either this week or the end of last week when I very drunkenly explained how much this game means to me. It's probably one of the things I am most proud of 2022, and I'm thankful to all of you who have stuck with us either on Twitch or YouTube and helped made this thing possible. So, from all of us going into this new year, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. This has been hella fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes!
Hey!
There it is.
No, Rabbit, you're in the other game! Get away from here!
Now hold on 1 second. I can
I
make
half
some
expected a praise Jesus after that yes.
praise. Jeez,
I mean, I have a similar thing to that.
Man, I'm glad I didn't throw the owl dragon at you guys.
The what?
Bless.
Don't worry about it.
This is what your paranoia has brought. He's just slapping owl into every single enemy now.
Nah, I'm not gonna throw an owl at you. I might throw some hawk-faced wolves at you.
The Kevin Owens no is always going to get us, Wiley. But yes,
God.
let's start wrapping this up because some people in the call do have some New Year's Eve things that they want to do, and we're probably going to have some fun times here once we go offline. But we also don't want to hold up the people in chat who might also want to celebrate the New Year. So, going down the line, let's go with CG. Where can they not find you?
Hello, you can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me over on some other Good Beans channels, such as twitch.tv/fartingtart, where I do more D&D with them. Specifically, tomorrow, the beginning of the new year for War of the Shattered Sun, in which, well... Hold on, let me find... We're starting off the brand new year by waking up from a nightmare in a hell dimension, which is kind of an analogy for what's happening. You can also find me every other Tuesday for the Curse of Strahd, which we are starting up back again on the 10th. But before you do, tune in this Tuesday on the 3rd for the conclusion of Festive Fantasy, where our intrepid explorers will face off against the mighty Gilgamesh.
Gilgameshi.
Gilgamesh.
And with that, I toss it on over to Wiley.
Hello. I play randomizers on Mondays. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at xWiley and YouTube and Ko-Fi. And I guess Tumblr. Not that I use it yet. I'm waiting for Twitter to just implode and then some people will flock to that. But yes. On Tuesdays, you can find me on our entire channel, as mentioned. And I think that's about it. Zai, how about you? Where can we find you?
Hoi hoi. You can find me at twitch.tv/Zymusite, where I'm hunting, I'm drawing stuff, and I'm soon gonna start Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion because I really enjoy that game, and I may or may not really like Zack and Genesis, but that's a story for another time. Then I'm not doing that. I guess I'll see you guys here in 2 weeks for more Saved by the Spell. Holy shit, it'll be 2023. Yeah. That's all for me. Bob, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at ShadowsBob. Krista, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me on Twitch and Tweetor at Spoiled Chestnut. This year, I'm hopefully going to be doing streams again now that I've got the parts for my PC that I needed. Yeah, look forward to that. It'll be new VTuber model, new all that sort of thing, but I'm still working on it. So yeah. How about Jeffrost?
Yeah, you can find me doing some other crazy and cringeworthy stuff here on my Twitch channel and over on Twitter. Streams are going to be up in the air at times, but for the most part, we're going to have some fun, especially now that things are starting to come together quite nicely. And hopefully, if things work out just as well, we might be getting into, I might actually be doing some very big projects for D&D. Because I've got some things I hope to introduce, first and foremost, to this campaign.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. Well, then, that just leaves me, and you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at BurnoutVaughn. And we are just going to be chocked full. I've just basically fully devolved into being nothing but D&D YouTube. Not YouTube, but, well, yes, YouTube. I do a lot of D&D. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. I want to start drinking. But, yes, you can see us next Tuesday for our first stream of the new year with Chilta Personality, where we basically just no-clipped into the final, part of the dungeon, saw what we had to fight, and we're like, you know what? We still have some other stuff we can do. This is not going anywhere. Let's just close the door on the horror and figure out what we're going to do. And following that, we also have the second episode of our brand new miniseries, C4, where we literally just walked into a bar and a Venom troll showed up. So I think we've got the chaos pretty much under control there. It's all there. Nothing can go wrong after that. And then finally, in 2 weeks, we can return back here to Saved by the Spell. And maybe in the meantime, I could find a time to sit down with Wiley and we'll figure out something for some more satire days, now that we have completed all the mystery games I own. Yeah, but I still have some random things, Wiley, that we can throw ourselves into. We'll see. But aside from that, it's time for us to find someone to raid. Let's see, who all is on?
Let's see, we've got Trevi, Squatch, Brawl, River.
You know
How
what?
about River?
All right. That's just Wicked River, all one word?
Wicked River 97, capital W, capital R.
Luckily, the raid command doesn't need for me to capitalize it, so...
Oh, thank God!
Wicked River 97. Does that look about right up there?
That's it.
All right, what should we have as our raid message?
Hug the bunny.
Yes, hug
Happy
the bunny.
New Year?
I like hug the bunny.
Hug
It is
the
Year of
bunny.
the Rabbit.
Yeah, it is Year of the Rabbit.
So
Year of the
already.
Rabbit. How about that?
Oh, Year of the Rabbit? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Year of the Rabbit. Thank you all for coming out, and we will see you all in the new year. Goodbye, we love you.
Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.